Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain Logan Show. It is I, Captain Logan, and joining me tonight, filling in for Jason, is DJ Martinez, which is kind of a strange, surreal thing to say, because DJ did the show with me for like 4 years, but he's back again, finally. It's been a while. DJ, it's nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a long time, like you said.
Of course. I would have had you back a long time ago, but all my weeks blurred together, and I'm pretty sure you were here like 2 weeks ago.
That's what it feels like. It feels just like riding a bike, man. Just hopping right back on. People are already talking to me in the chat. It's gonna be fun.
You know, it's really just about balance. You know, you gotta stay on the thing. You know, just momentum, just plow through it. Which
Perfect.
in
For your shirt.
For that allegory, for this exercise, it's really just a matter of rambling and talking a whole lot, and not having any space in between words, and hoping that any of it makes any sense at all.
I thought you were intentionally making a Thanos joke because you were wearing an Infinity Gauntlet shirt.
No, I wish I had now.
That
was a good idea. I was just talking about riding a bike. That's all I was doing.
Yeah, balance is key for that. No, you're just overflowing with superhero references. You can't even help it these days. It's a sickness, really.
It's just embedded in there. It's just in the cranium, yeah. And you haven't done the superhero thing in a long time, so you're probably so rusty that I'll say like the really obvious ones, and they just won't even land. You'll be like, although you got that, and I didn't even know I did it. So there you go.
Well, if you reference anything that came out in the last decade, I won't get any of it.
That's all right. You're not missing a ton. Thunderbolts is good. Go see Thunderbolts.
I'm actually interested in that one. I've heard great things.
It's fun. I really enjoyed it.
And Grace might get back on the horse with that one.
You should, and it's better. It's better on a second viewing.
Cool. Yeah, we've been missing it. We used to always go see those together, and we haven't had any superhero movies to see in a while. So it's been a bummer.
Well, that's okay, because if this, a lot of things, if you'd gone, it's not like it would be nostalgic. It would just be depressing. Because if you got to Brave New World, you would have been like, why did we waste our time and money going to that? That was dreadful, and was embarrassing. And I'm embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed for them, especially because the movie they just made is more or less what that should have been. Hurts my feelings.
You just put Falcon on there for you.
I wish they had now. They could. Well, I say that. I mean, I like Thunderbolts as it is, but they could have, in an odd way, they could have made him like the antagonist for that movie. They could have had like the Thunderbolts versus Captain America. They could have done that. Would have been a different movie, but they could have.
Maybe for the sequel.
And then they somehow make me like him even less by the after credit scene, and he's not even in it. Like, they found a way to make him less likable off screen.
Oh no. They're still doing after credit scenes? I guess they're stuck with that.
Look, that's a tradition, man. I mean, we're lucky that they haven't had a CG Stan Lee in every movie afterwards just to keep that going.
Yes. Hopefully people jump ship if they start doing that. That's too far.
But anyway, DJ, I missed you, man. It's so nice to see you. Just jumping right back into it, like you never left. Tonight's lead-in topic is just gonna be us showing off cool crap we bought. That is the main topic for this evening. Cool crap we bought. That's what I should have put in the title. Tell your friends. And DJ, I'm sure
that should be the name of my channel, basically.
Yeah, cool crap you bought. That's true. I should.
All it is.
I should just have a show called that. That'd be good. New acquisitions. That sounds doesn't sound laid back enough. Just needs to be cool crap you bought. But anyway,
nostalgic though, man. New acquisitions goes all the way back.
I know. I haven't used that in a long time, and it was usually just for comics. But I don't have a regular comic show anymore. I'm not buying, I have a pull list. I'm not doing that anymore. So a lot of my stuff is going to be collectibles and things. I've got a little bit in the way of physical media stuff. I'm sure most of what DJ is going to bring is Blu-rays and 4Ks and things. But we'll get right into that here in a little bit. Make sure you subscribe to DJ's channel, Films by Color. He does, and this is why I thought of this, because I haven't talked to DJ in a long time, and I figured we just do a collector stream, because that's what DJ does over on his YouTube channel. Tonight, we're going to do a top super chatter goal. Top super chatter gets a personal video from me, which I'll record in the next couple days after this. So if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, especially in the second half, I don't know how long the new acquisitions thing will go. And by the way, sorry for the late start time. We had kind of a technical Discord issue at the start here, so we're 20 minutes late. Really sorry about that. DJ hadn't dealt with Discord yet for calls, and it was monkeying him around and being weird. It wasn't DJ's fault. The settings were very strange. He showed me a screenshot. He proved it. It was really weird. I don't even understand it.
Yeah, Discord. It's just hazing the new guy. Discord's, giving it to me.
I think Google should sell me Skype. I mean, I'm the only one that still used it. It was more reliable than Discord. I'd like to still use Skype. They should just sell it to me, and then let me use it. And maybe, we can make it like a pyramid scheme and get other people on board with it.
Just a personal software for one guy in his basement. I did a stream. I did like a 3-person call for the first time in like years. Just this week, I had to find some free software to use because Skype's not around anymore. So,
yeah, a lot of us are using Discord now. That's kind of turned into the new Skype for a lot of people, I think, because it's one of the only free things left. Everything else you gotta pay for, past certain number of hours or a certain number of minutes that you're streaming. So it's irritating.
Yeah, I'm still mad at Google for just getting rid of Hangouts for no reason at all.
Yeah, and it's funny because YouTube has tried to be like the premium live stream outlet in the same way they've tried to be everything else. Like every time another website comes along that does anything remotely close to video, they're like, we have to be podcasts and we have to be shorts and we have to be, everything. And they had a really good chance at being the premium live stream service, and they blew it with Google Hangouts. I say that. I think they kind of are at this point. Like Twitch is still around, but I don't think people like it as well as YouTube. But it's like, why are they making it harder on us? It's like, on the one hand, we want everyone to use this for live streaming. On the other hand, we don't at all. And that's my rant for this evening.
Oh, starting with rants. Okay, good. Get it out of the way. Get it out of your system so we can talk about cool stuff. Or what'd you say? Cool crap you bought?
Yeah, cool crap we bought. So in the second hour,
get the nomenclature right.
in the second hour, we'll do lots of Q&A, maybe a little bit in the first, depending on how long it takes to go through the stuff. I actually brought quite a bit of stuff. I don't have to get to all of it, but I haven't really shown anything I bought in the last 4 months or so, so I just piled it all. I look like a toy store. Everything is surrounding me right now. If you guys... DJ can see more of my space right now with my secondary camera, and it looks like we're having a yard sale. Like...
Midnight tonight, we're hitting Duncan's toy chest. That's your favorite movie, right? You love the second one.
It's fine.
No,
I have to drive all the way to work? All the way to work? I don't think...
It's like your big, your go-to sequelitis example.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing there at all. You just watch the first one again every year. You don't need to, I guess maybe if you didn't have... We even had VHSs at that point, right?
You know what? I'm not sure what movie you're talking about. I thought I had it. Now I'm not. I'm not sure.
I'm talking about Home Alone. That's in Home Alone 2.
Duncan's Toy. Okay, sorry for a second. I thought you were talking about Toy Story 2. But that's Al's Toy Barn. That's yeah. I gotta drive all the way to work. No, you're right. Why would you go back to Home Alone 2? Home Alone 2 is basically Toy Story 2. That's what I'm saying. You heard it here first, folks.
Same exact thing.
Professor Zoom says Skype will return in Avengers Doomsday. I should just start ending streams with Skype will return. It won't, but I can lie and it'll be amusing. Anyway, so like I said, leave super chats if you're so inclined with questions about any reasonable topic under the sun. Geeky wise, we'll tackle lots of that in the second half if there's interest. And like I said, I will do a personal video message, and I always go kind of long, so it won't be like a 2 or 3 minute cameo, like a lot of celebrities will do.
I was just gonna say, you're on Cameo now.
It's like Cameo, yeah. It's like a $200, and you get like a minute and a half sound bite, and they probably say the same thing to every single person. It's not like that, and you can ask me a question or give me a little topic, and I'll riff for 10 or 15 minutes at least. And away we go. So, DJ, I'm gonna let you go first because it's been a while, and
oh man,
I can't do any stream without a 12-minute preamble. So I've been talking too long again, and now it's your turn. So what do you want to start with, DJ? Show us some cool crap you bought.
Yeah, I was a little. This is intimidating actually, because I've talked about all this stuff already on my channel. So I was trying to pick stuff that like your channel would be interested in, like your viewers. So I'm looking for like genre stuff and some other stuff, but I also didn't know how far to go back. Like how new is new acquisitions? So
yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk about that.
I went back to just post Christmas because I did kind of one of these for Christmas.
Okay, perfect. These are the two newest things I got. These were sent to me by Viavision from Australia, which is an Australian boutique company, and they do really, really cool stuff. And these are both very geeky, so I think your audience will appreciate these. Actually, Robert, who's in the chat, left a comment on the video. This is a Dracula set, the first one. It's cool because it's a 4-film set, so it's not just like you can get the original Dracula like in a million sets, but this has 3 other films on here. So it's got Dracula, the original, 1931. It also has the Spanish version because there's 2 different versions of that first one. And it's got Dracula's daughter, Son of Dracula, and House of Dracula. It's a really nice little 4-disc set.
I didn't even know Dracula had a daughter.
Yes, and she's green, apparently, according to this artwork. Look at that.
I bet that looks nothing like her.
No. Well, she's in black and white. But yeah, these are just really nice sets. They've been doing these. They did a Mummy one, and they did the Dracula one, and now I think a Wolfman one is coming soon. And they've got these really nice... I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but it's got a little lenticular... hard box here.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that. I couldn't tell.
Really cool artwork on the back of Bela Lugosi. It's got a lenticular on the front, and then all these boutique things do this. I'm not crazy about these. I much prefer booklets. I'll show you some cool stuff later with booklets, but they all come with this little package with some art cards in there, original posters. These are kind of cool actually, since they're posters. I'm not a big fan when they do like just screenshots or like stills from the film, but when they do the original posters, it's kind of cool. And then the other one is Jason and the Argonauts, which I don't know if you are into Harryhausen or not, but this is probably one of his best ones.
Yeah, it is.
And a great movie.
Of the ones I've seen, it's probably the best. My wife's a big Harryhausen fan.
Oh, awesome. This is the one with the big skeleton fight. You got the one skeleton fight in Seven Voyages of Sinbad, but then in this one, you got like a whole bunch of skeletons. Then you got
Yeah.
the big giant stones there, statue. You got the harpies there on the front in the lenticular. You got the water. It's not Poseidon. I always want to call him Poseidon. It's a different guy, but the guy that pops out of the water, like, it's a really cool set. And it's also got, the movie. It's got some cool supplements on there. There's a whole documentary on there about Harryhausen, and I watched through it. It's pretty cool. It's got some good bonus features. It also has this with some art cards in it. But yeah, those are just fun little sets, and they're continuing them going. Like, they're doing different lines. Like, they're doing more monster ones, and Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is coming soon. So if you like Harryhausen, grab those. The only problem is shipping is expensive from Australia.
I bet.
That's kind of a bummer.
What
You got to push it up to get the free shipping threshold.
I was going to say, besides
It's like
shipping,
$30.
what do those run?
Well, they're not bad. This one's, I think, 29 right now, Jason the Argonauts, and then this one, since it has 4 films, I think it's around 50.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But for boutiques, that's actually not bad. If you just buy like standard Blu-rays, you might think I'm crazy right now, but boutiques can be pretty expensive.
Right. Yeah. I'm super selective, as you know, with that, just because I have too many other collections. It's not the main thing that I buy. But there are certain movies that if I care enough about it, I'll pay 25, 30 or more, depending on what it is. Sometimes, really good steel books, closer to 30, 35. It just depends on what it is.
If you're stupid Disney, you charge 65 for a Deadpool steelbook because they're nuts.
I'm not doing that. And I like that movie, but
yeah.
I'm not doing that. I don't think I bought that yet. I'm so behind on Super. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Like,
yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm interested to hear about that.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so you want to go back and forth?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I can just go ahead and talk about that for a second because I don't have a lot in the way of superhero physical media at the moment. Oh my god! And what I did bring, I just dropped. Just gonna destroy everything. I just ordered, though, the box set that came out last year for the complete series of Captain Planet, which I'm really excited to finally get.
I saw that came out, yeah.
I've been waiting for that thing to come out forever, and it came out at $80, which I thought was kind of steep, and it's on sale on Amazon right now for $50. Actually, apparently suggested retail was like $99, but I saw it at $80 when it came out, and I was waiting for it to come down, and it finally did. My wife and I are trying to get out of at least some of our streaming services because we're just not using them as much as we were, and because they're always hiking them up, they're getting more expensive and they're taking stuff off of them, and it just doesn't feel like the bang for your buck it should be. And for whatever reason, this is just neither here nor there, but the big TV, the smart TV that we've got in our living room keeps dropping us off of certain streaming services. It has no problems with certain of them, but others it will just decide you don't have an internet connection when every other device in the house is connected and fine. And that's one of the reasons we've been doing a lot more physical media lately. But anyway, because of that, we've actually, DJ, started budgeting for movies and box sets every month. And so I've got like a $50 pot set aside every month just to do that, and so I've started doing that. So I grabbed the stuff that I bought with that, but this isn't for that. The only superhero thing I want to show besides 89 releases is the Toxic Avenger collection, which I mentioned when Austin and I did the Superhero Rewind commentary for the first one of these, a movie that Austin loves and a movie I don't like very much but respect the making of. And apparently there is a souped up 4K set that came out for this that was absurdly expensive, and I was kind of fine just getting the older Blu-ray set. So I grabbed that. It's all 4 of those movies. And I've been using the commentary project, DJ, to slowly replace like old releases I have for things and like update. So each time I do something that I just have a regular DVD of, I tend to upgrade and get a better copy of. So that's what I did with Toxic Avenger. Although I don't think I had these at all before that. But that's what I've got. It's got a lot of good special features. Troma always does a ton of stuff with theirs. And then I won't spend a lot of time on each of these, but as a lot of you guys know, watching the 89 for 89 project, I've been buying up releases of the same movie. I've been buying Batman 89 in every possible format and release I can get it on, and I think I'm up to 16. So, somewhere around there, and there's still some stuff I'm missing. There's a bunch of neat foreign releases I'd like to get, and I haven't gotten to that yet. I think there's like I can't remember if it's a Swedish one or a German one, but there's a really kick-ass one that comes with like a Joker playing card and a Batarang, and there's some really neat ones. But I had one of our subscribers who's in my writing workshop, Michael, sent me his clean VHS. My box was ripped up, and unfortunately some tape got on it and it got messed up, but he sent me his, and it's in beautiful shape, so it's good to have a good VHS now. This is the beta tape. I've had that forever, but then I got a couple of different, I don't know what you call these, but I got this. I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is technically like a digibook. I don't know what you call these, but I've got this one that folds out, and that's Blu-ray. And then,
ooh, that's the Lux Diamond Edition.
That's what it is. And then I've got this one that's got a booklet in the front with a bunch of background information. I think almost all of these, the disc and the features are exactly the same. It's just the case that's different. There are a couple of steelbooks for this. I have both of them. This is the prettier one. I like the Batman on the back that's almost entirely in silhouette. This is the 4K with the white background. I like these posters a lot. They did this for all 4 of the 90s movies. Austin thinks these are generic and he doesn't care for them. I don't know why. I think they're really cool looking, and I kind of want posters of them. But I finally got that. I always wanted that, but I didn't have a good excuse until I decided to collect these. DJ, I wanted to ask you, do you do this with anything? Like, your collection, as massive as it is, are there any movies that you buy not just a couple copies of, but like multiple copies? Like, you have to get every release of that one movie.
Not at the moment. There's so many things on my wish list that I don't buy more than one of anything unless I have it like standard and then like a box set comes out or something that has multiple movies in it. Maybe I'll do that, but yeah, I really try to just stick with, I only need it once in my collection, unless maybe something will come up. I guess I may get the Third Man a second time. I had the Third Man. It was like a whole big thing. It was this out of print Criterion edition.
I remember that.
Took me a long time to hunt it down. But they just did a Studio Canal 4K, big giant beefy box set that opens up with like a pop-up Ferris wheel inside, and it plays the score of the movie when you open it. It's crazy. But I think I'm going to trade with somebody to get that. So it's not like I'm buying something. But yeah, I usually just stick to one copy. I don't even know what you call that. It's not a completionist. I don't know what is there a name for that?
I don't know. I guess you're just settling. Like, you don't have to have the absolute perfect pristine. Because like when you say you only need one, do you find yourself upgrading a lot? Where it's like, I only need one, but if they put out a much nicer version, then I'll replace it and get that. Or do you go, I've got it, I'm good?
Yeah, it all depends, as we always used to say. It's not like, I haven't done that a lot. Like, there's not a lot of upgrades. Like, Criterion's releasing 4Ks of versions. I have Blu-rays. I usually stick with the Blu-ray. There's not a lot of times that I've upgraded. I'm trying to think.
And I still don't even have a 4K player, so I don't go for 4Ks. Like, I'll buy them if it's a really pretty package and it comes with a regular Blu-ray so I can watch it. But I don't actually do anything with a 4K disc.
Yeah. I buy new stuff 4K these days, but like, if I already have the Blu-ray, I don't usually upgrade. I'm not a huge upgrader, but it all depends. Sometimes there's a nice, like I said, box set. Like, I owned, one of the things I'm going to show off is a box set, and it has all of the director's films in it. I had one of them on Blu-ray before, but I'll probably just get rid of that or try to sell it or something, because I don't need it in both places.
Yeah, I'll do that when I get a massive box set of things, at least some of the time. See, right now, I've got this kind of dilemma, these stupid first world problems. I've got this dilemma where my wife gave me an 18-film Batman box set that's a lot of the animated movies. And I actually asked for that for Christmas just because I really liked the art on it. And I could get rid of all of those older releases. It has all the same special features and everything on them when they have them, and it would clear out a lot of space back here, DJ. But I kind of feel weird looking at my superhero movie collection, and the Batman section goes from this to like this. It just feels really weird to me where you look back there and you don't see that. And I did do that with the first two waves of Marvel films of MCU, because I have the suitcase, you know this, but I have the suitcase set for the first phase, and I have the Guardians like orb set for the second phase, and I got rid of all my older discs, and I feel a little bit weird about it, because you look back here now and you don't immediately see Avengers or Captain America First Avenger or any of that, and like you look alphabetically, you go, where are those? Well, it's way up here in a suitcase.
Yeah, see, I would welcome that, because I'm out of space at this point almost. Not out of space yet, but pretty close. So I'm starting to condense things and offload things that I don't need anymore. I can go ahead and talk about it.
I will get to where I'm fine with that. I'll finish these 89 things real quick though, because there are more. So this is just the regular bare bones one. Remember these old DVDs, DJ, with the little like snap open business on the side? Yeah, these were awful. And they often were like double-sided discs. This is the regular Blu-ray, and I ended up with this, I think, a couple of times for different reasons, and you'll see that in a minute. This is the other Steelbook, which is pretty, but I like the other one better. But DJ, I'm going to have to get this again because it got crunched in shipping, and it's an absolute travesty. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got this big dent in the front. It's just crunched. And it's actually really dangerous. It's sharp on the top because of that. And yeah.
You could fashion it into a batarang.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should do that. Then I have because I had to buy them all. Here's the 4 Films Favorite set. The DVD disc. Yep, there's that. And the Blu-ray 4 film collection that has all the 90s movies, which I had to have because not just I'm trying to be a completionist with this DJ, but also I really appreciate the quote on the front that just says, "I'm Batman."
Of course.
And underneath it says, "I'm Batman," and then in quotation marks, and underneath it just says, "Batman."
Oh, I thought it was going to say how it should have ended.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been great.
And I think that's great. And I've talked about this on the 89 commentaries, but we're making those unlisted except for patrons, so some of you guys won't know about this. But this is the absolute weirdest of these releases. And DJ, I don't know if I told you about this. I think I sent you a picture of this. But this is the... So this has that regular Blu-ray I showed you in the blue case. And it's... a movie plus a coloring book, so you get the 89 Blu-ray movie, and then you get a Wonder Woman coloring book.
That's what every little boy wants.
It's one of my favorite stupid things I have now, and on one of the 89 commentaries, I colored in the Wonder Woman coloring book the entire commentary.
Did you have an overhead artist cam pointed down at your table the whole time so they could see what you were doing?
I think maybe I did do that. Or maybe I just showed it occasionally. I can't remember.
It looks like a Valentine's box. Is it just in like a little cardboard box?
Yeah, and it's just got a coloring book inside of it. Yeah, it's really odd.
Brilliant. Where's the line of those? I need a full collector's line.
And then lastly, I have the Laserdisc, which I have not done a commentary on yet, but that is on the list. So that'll be fun because at some point I'll have to pause the clock and flip it over, and I'm looking forward to that. And DJ's way back there.
I just wanted to grab this real quick. Sorry, because my favorite version of Batman 89 is the Ultimate Collector's Edition. Warner Brothers is doing these Ultimate Collector's Editions. I think the Batman one's long out of print at this point, but the newest one is this Wizard of Oz one. And they're these nice thick hard boxes. And inside they have a steelbook and a box of goodies in there that has like a bunch of recreated. In this one, it's like the original like ticket, the original like program that you would have got at the time, and like a bunch of art cards and lobby cards and stuff. It's really cool. And the Batman one has the steelbook is like plans for for the Batmobile, and the box looks really cool too. That's an expensive one though.
I have looked into that. It's like a couple $100, I think, or maybe like.
There's one for 115 on eBay right now.
Oh, okay,
But
that's
yeah,
better than it has been, but that's still a little much for me. I don't know. I don't know if I can bring myself to do that.
it's really nice. I'd love to collect these, but yeah, there's a Willy Wonka one that I have been trying to track down forever, but it's over $100 too. But yeah,
That
those are cool.
that would
I
be
like
great.
Warner Brothers does good stuff.
By
All
the
right,
way,
you did.
quick plug for that. Sometime in the near future, DJ and I are finally going to do a commentary together on Willy Wonka. We don't have a date yet, but we're talking about that. DJ, what else do you want to do? You want to show us?
Well, I alluded to it, so I'll go ahead and mention this. This is the box set. It's complete. I love Curzon. Curzon is another company. They're from the UK though, so you got to have a region-free player. But unless they're 4Ks, 4Ks are region-free. But look at this. Look at this. This is beautiful. Curzon does these director box sets. So I've got 2 of them here. I finally pulled the trigger on these. I've wanted these for a long time. This is the Vim Vendors one, and it looks like a cloth-bound book. Like that's the texture of it. You slide it out from the side. Look at that. Oops. Of course, I've got it backwards. There he is. There's Vim. But this is 22 films in here. It's crazy. It's like a coffee table book. Opens up like that. The discs are right in the top. I don't even know if I can show them to you. I'm hitting my microphone. This is so big, but each page is like this full color, beautiful image from each film, and then there's 2 discs up in the top. This is insane.
Neat.
This is one of the nice box sets I've ever seen. But this is Curzon. They like to do these comprehensive sets. There's a Ruben Östlund set with all of his films that I really want to get, but I missed out on because it's completely sold out. And in the very back, they've got like a bunch of posters. And this one in particular comes with some really cool like Polaroid shots from the film. I think those are from Paris, Texas. I actually don't know. I'm not super familiar with this director, but I can't wait to dive into his stuff because this is an awesome set. And then the other one I got from Curzon is Lars von Trier. They did a full set of his films. I think all of his films are in this one except for one. I think there was a rights issue with Dancer in the Dark, but they have since fixed that, and they're putting out a separate version of that by itself. But here's the Lars von Trier one. It's much more manageable. It's smaller. It's still thick as heck.
It looks like a book, or it looks like a set of books, but not a coffee table book.
Yeah, it's like a nice cloth-bound book texture, and inside you get another slip box with this insane artwork in here.
Oh, wild.
I love what this looks like. It
What
looks
kind of
so
movies
cool.
does that guy make?
Very disturbing ones. I don't think they're as Salvador Dali-esque as this box set art is, though, but maybe.
Have you
I think
seen any of that?
Melancholia looks a little bit like that. This is 14 films, I think. So no, I got a lot of work to do on this one too.
Jeez.
But then inside that, you've got 2 digipacks. There's Willem Dafoe right there from Antichrist. There's
Oh, wow.
Mary Jane Watson from Melancholia. I forgot. I should speak in superhero terms. There's Norman Osborn. He's something of an Antichrist himself. And then, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there's this gigantic digipack for each side. So there's like half the films in that side, half the films in the other side. And this is what I like. They give us a nice little book with some reading material, got like an essay on each film. Super nice. I hope Curzon keeps doing these. I really like these sets. If you want a better look at this, I did a full video of this, but I'm not going to get too far into it. But I love these. There's also one back there for Bellatar that I got, and there's another one for the Three Colors trilogy by Kieslowski. But I think these are awesome, and these look super classy. Like, I've said it before, but I feel like I would be comfortable putting these like in my living room.
Yeah.
Nothing else back there I would put in my living room, but these actually look really classy. Like you said, they kind of look like books, like a collector's edition of a book. So those, I finally pulled the trigger on. They usually are like, like 250 or usually, yeah, they're usually over 200. Amazon was having a spring sale. I got both of those for like 100 and 120. Like they were super low for 22 films. 120 bucks is
Yeah, it's great.
crazy. So I was very happy. Usually Amazon sales do nothing for me, but this time they actually had some pretty good deals. So I had to grab those finally, and it's going to be a big project to get through those sets, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, those are really neat.
Yeah, should I do something else?
I'd love to have something like that for something that I collect. But yeah, do one more.
I'll do A24 real quick since I'm wearing an A24 shirt. And recently, on one of the streams. I don't remember which one it was. I tuned in. I can't always tune in, but when I do, I always try to comment. And Jason was talking about music films, and I mentioned "Stop Making Sense" by the Talking Heads, or just Talking Heads.
Oh yeah.
And this is a concert film, and it is really really good. And A24 put out this beautiful like limited edition. I actually don't know if it's limited. It might still be in print, but I think it is. But it's this awesome art box, very tall. I don't know if you can see. Like this is a normal case. Like it's very tall.
Oh, crazy. Yeah.
And they've done a couple of these. Like they also did one for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I pulled that down because I know you like that movie.
Oh, that's neat.
So these are.
I haven't bought that
really
yet
nice
either.
collectibles. So these are both 4K, and the inside is a digibook. You got the disc in there, 4K disc, and then you got just this one. It's not essays on the film. It's like a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. Like it's got John Byrne's like sketches and stuff for storyboards, and you can see how he planned out the whole show ahead of time. If I can find us, there you go. There's the storyboard pages. But yeah, these are really cool. A24's only done a few of these. I think they've done like 6. So I have all of these, but I don't think they're going to do any more of these. They seem to have switched over. A24 has been putting out, because they have like their own boutique label now. They're not distributing through anybody else. So you go to Barnes & Noble now, some Walmarts even, they sell the A24 stuff. This is what this is what most of their releases look like now. They've switched over to these kind of color bar digipacks.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to show this one because this was my favorite movie last year, Sing Sing. And I think you specifically would really like this. It's about a prison, the prison in Sing Sing, the high security prison in Sing Sing. And they start a drama troupe, and put on plays. And it's really, really good movie. And the coolest thing about it, I didn't even know going in, it is the actual prisoners, the actors playing themselves in the film. Except for Coleman Domingo, who's the
So Connor just
guy.
mentioned in the comments, he told me about that last year, and thank you guys for reminding me because I forgot all about it. He said it's on Max, so I'll make sure and watch that.
It's a really, really good movie. I wasn't last year was kind of a weak year for me. I didn't get to see much, and what I did see, I didn't really love, but this one really stood out. It's really good. But yeah, that's what A24 is doing these days. They've got a ton of them now. These little handy dandy digipacks. So A24, pretty cool label. I approve.
Those other releases look cooler to me, though. I wish they hadn't stopped making those.
Yeah, there's only a few. They have a Midsommar one, a Green Knight one, and then a Lighthouse one. Yeah, they switched over to the smaller ones.
We did a Lighthouse commentary earlier this year.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
what else? I guess I'll do my other physical media stuff real fast. Like I said, I've been buying DJ box sets for primarily TV shows, but I'm getting into some movie stuff also. Just things that either aren't streaming or that I don't want to bother with streaming services for, or that are on sale and I can get now. And then if I'm not streaming them later, I can actually have them around. So I got the first season of Tiny Toons finally. I've wanted this forever. I never bought this show. And the other seasons aren't readily available right now. I don't know if they're just not in print, but this is like 65 episodes, so it's plenty for my kids right now. And they've not done, I don't think, a full set of the show. It's just one box, which is irritating, so I'm still having to buy it in volumes. But these sets are kind of prettier than they used to be, so I'm glad to finally have that. And they do have on Amazon right now a complete, I think, Animaniacs set, but I haven't bought that yet.
Is Tiny Toons streaming anywhere?
It's not.
Is it on Max?
No, it hasn't.
Because my kids have been watching like what's it called? Baby Looney Tunes?
Yeah,
On Max?
that's on Max.
But I've never seen Tiny Toons. I've never even seen Tiny Toons.
Oh, have you not? Yeah, it's wonderful. All that Spielberg stuff is real satirical and bizarrely much more for the adults watching in a lot of ways, and they're just great. There's this really funny episode in the first season that I had completely forgotten about that is a bunch of caricatures of famous actors from the time going to like an Oscars type award ceremony, and Batman shows up in his Batmobile, and Hampton, and so like it's a exaggerated version of the '89 car. And remember, this is like 1991 or 2, so it's just after Returns comes out, and Hampton is a valet, and he's supposed to park the Batmobile, but he gets in it and he can't figure out what the buttons do, and it starts driving real fast. He's pressing all the buttons, and he accidentally presses one that says warp, and so it goes into the sky, it flies, it goes to the moon, and it explodes, and then it puts a bat symbol in the moon, and then they just put a trademark symbol next to the symbol in the moon, and it's wonderful. And then Batman goes into the award ceremony, and he unzips his costume, and Michael Keaton just walks out of the costume, wearing a tux.
Whoa!
And it's wonderful. It's really funny.
But this is a Fox. This is all on Fox. All this stuff, or not Fox? WB. Duh.
Yes.
All this is connected.
Well, that was yeah. I mean, it was it was a Fox Kids show, but yeah.
Yeah. That's confusing.
It is confusing. And then I got the complete Jetson series. I've got Flintstones somewhere. I can't find it, but I know I bought that.
Oh wow.
But here's the Jetson series, and it's just these basic irritating cases where all the discs pop out everywhere, and it makes me want to buy a different case to put them in. I freaking hate these. This is how they do Star Trek now, and it just makes me angry. Because like I haven't upgraded all my Star Trek, but when they put out the remasters for TNG, I had to have that, so like I didn't get rid of the old transfers, but they put them in. But like the only way those are available is in these, and they stack like 4 discs on top of each other, DJ, and you feel like you're gonna break them when you pull them out, and like they're rubbing up against each other, and God, I hate it. Like,
yeah, I got the Ninja Turtle set for my kids, and it's like that. They're just like stacked on stacked on stacked.
You talking about the 87?
Yeah.
I'm really glad I bought that years ago when they did the Turtle Van set. But I sent you the 03 show, and it's probably also like that. I can't remember.
That's true. Yeah. I can pull it out if you want. It's right there.
I mean, I've got it back here too. I just don't remember how they did that. I also got the old Jurassic Park collection on Blu-ray because I got a nice deal on it, and it's a cool release. What's funny about it is it has a couple of these movies on the 3D discs, and I'll never have a TV that plays those, nor could I see them if I did. But it has them.
Yeah, I'd love to get a 3D TV. I just got someone sent me a film from the 50s, like a musical from the 50s that's in 3D that I'd like to watch.
Weird. But yeah, this is the set I decided to get for these because I just had the ones I cared about on DVD, and I wanted nicer transfers. But I already have Jurassic House, and I'm never going to buy Jurassic Plague because that's a piece of crap. So I decided to get this set because it's the original Up Through world, and they're multi-disc releases. And anyway, so that's a really pretty set that I hadn't bought in a long time, or that I hadn't... I'd been sitting around for a long time wanting to get. And then I got Jason, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because that's his favorite sitcom of all time. And so he's been watching through that again with this set. And this is one of those boxes that just gives you all the seasons in separate sets. But they did a good job with the special features and stuff on this release. So I really recommend that if you like that show. And it's really cheap right now. I think that was like $20-25 maybe.
Nice. Yeah, you're cranking out these box sets, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Thing to do with the family. That's a lot of fun. Well, you talked about TV shows. I guess I'll go with the original serialized entertainment. I got this Serials box set. You'll think this is cool. I know you like Serials. It is from Eureka Entertainment. I'm just going through all the different labels. This is another UK label. They have a line called Masters of Cinema. This is Louis Foyard, and he's a French director, and he did these really famous film serials. And look at this box set. It's ridiculous. This is the set. It's another hard box. Got to do the knock, the blue tuber knock. And there is look at that. Each one gets its own digipack inside. Look how colorful they are. Perfect.
Yeah, they look like children's books.
So, well, until you turn them sideways, there's
sure. But just in the spines, yeah. Just the colors they chose.
That's actually the book. Yeah, primary colors. There's the man himself, Louis Foyard. There's a poster in there, and then you get the original one, Phantoms. Look at the artwork. I love this.
That's cool.
I love these kind of things. It looks so good. There's Les Vampires, which is the big famous one that he's known for. This crime. It's not actually about vampires, but it is a crime. It's a big one because there's the first part and there's the second part. So that one's split into 2 digipacks. There's Judex. Look at that guy.
Wow.
Looks like a supervillain. Very theatrical. And then this guy here is very happy. I just love the colors. I love.
I mean, DJ, that's hilarious.
I love. I love the idea of crime serials, but I have not seen enough. I've seen some Tarzan and some of the earlier like adventure ones, but I have not seen crime serials. So I'm really excited to dive
haven't
into this
either.
one. I keep buying myself big projects. That's what keeps happening. But someday I will get to these. I have a friend who's interested in watching this. That helps. You have a friend who will also watch hours and hours of things with you. that actually helps quite a bit. But yeah, this is a cool set. This was a crazy story because it had sold out last year. This is one of the big things I wanted last year, and I waited around. I actually had it in my cart, and I waited too long, and it sold out. And it sold out everywhere. It sold on Amazon. Couldn't find it anywhere. And then I got one of my subscribers left a comment real quick and was like, "Hey, Diabolic just got 3 copies of it in." So I rushed over there and threw it in the cart real quick, and it was actually cheaper than it was originally. Like it was an amazing deal,
nice.
and I'm very happy.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
Thankful to that guy for giving me a copy of that. But it looks awesome. What else can I show? I've got. I'll show this. This is also television, kind of. So this is a good segue here. I found this in the wild, which never happens to me anymore. But we have a little place called CD Warehouse by me, and I'll go in there like every 10 times. I'll find something. I usually don't find anything, but I found a Walt Disney Treasure set, which is these are crazy hard to find. Like these are long out of print. This is the Davy Crockett one. Did you ever see any of the Davy Crockett show when you were growing up?
No, I didn't.
It's one of those things that no one's ever seen it, but everybody knows the song from it.
Yeah,
It was like a huge hit. Like everybody knows the song. I like picked it up just from my parents singing it. But yeah, it's apparently
And they
not
may
a
have
full
put
show.
some of that on Disney Channel when I was a kid, but I don't remember.
Oh yeah, yeah. These Disney Treasures are cool. It's only like 3 episodes, I think, but they're all like an hour and a half, like movie length.
Oh, weird.
So that's really cool. Like I was really in the mood. I went to Minnesota this year for a work trip, and that's like the birthplace of, not the birthplace, but that's like where they celebrate Paul Bunyan. So I came back with like a hankering for some tall tales, and we watched like Paul Bunyan Disney short, which I have back there, and all the ones that they've done, John Henry, and watched a little bit of the Davy Crockett show, and we watched the Brave Engineer and Johnny Appleseed. We had like a whole weekend where we were just like watching a bunch of tall tale stuff. So that was a fun find in the wild. Again, never.
Yeah, that's
happens
wild.
anymore.
That's nuts.
But
Yeah, I had a friend that had a bunch of those, or a friend's brother anyway, that had a bunch of those back in the early mid 2000s when they were releasing them. And I might have
cool.
like one, I forget. I was buying the Looney Tunes sets at the same time, which are some of those are also hard to get now, but the Disney ones were much more hard to get and sought after, and much more quickly. Like they went out of print quick, and you couldn't get them.
yeah, I've tracked down. You can see the silver ones back there. I've tracked down a bunch of them. I got all the animated ones, but I haven't been getting the live action ones. This is the only live action one I have, which is Davy Crockett.
Yeah, I don't think I realized for a long time they even did live action ones.
Yeah, they had another show there, but it was like sealed. It wasn't even opened, and it didn't look like that great of a show, and it was like way more expensive. This one was only $20, so I grabbed it, but the other one was like $50, so I just left it. It was like
That's a crazy
little
deal on that.
drama.
Sorry, I'm gonna move
sitcom
some
that
stuff around here so I can reach everything.
Been forgotten to time. But yeah, that was fun. I'd like to watch that through at some point. I started watching with my kids, and I was like, this might be a little much. There's some talk of scalping and other war terms that they're probably not old enough for yet. So we'll save it for later.
Now, the scalping we talk about is a different kind of scalping.
Yeah, we just were. We've been talking about it the whole time, basically. Disney treasures being scalped.
Speaking of scalping, I'll go to something that's related to that. DJ, I keep saying Austin because he's always with me, but anyway, sorry about that. Here is
He's your right hand man. He's your Robin.
So this is a cool.
Who would I be?
That
I guess I'm Nightwing.
Sorry, what?
I guess I'm Nightwing. If he's your Robin, I've grown up and left,
Well,
and I
that's not
come
even
back
true because he's not
occasionally.
usually on the show. I don't know why I'm doing that. Because
What is
usually
this thing?
Jason's here and he's just sitting next to me. Okay, so this is going to be kind of hard to show, and all the accessories in this are just going to be flowing all over the place. But got a lot of collectibles and toys to show tonight. So this I don't have the box for anymore. I guess I got. I thought I still had the boxes, but I can't find them. I must have gotten rid of them. But I bought this just to kind of display on my desk. So this is a playset that came out from a company called Jax, which I'm immediately liking because there's stuff in an era where everything's getting. We got a lot of inflation and things getting hiked up real hard. They're wonderfully reasonable, and the stuff is really good quality. There's another company putting out Batman stuff that I want to speak highly of later for the same reason. But anyway, this is the Simpsons living room, and hopefully my lighting adjusts here so you guys can see this. But like I said, the whole family is just kind of flowing all over the place here, because you gotta stand them up. But anyway, so this is a living room playset that comes with just Homer, but then you can buy a set of all of the family, which is cool. So you end up with two of the same Homer if you do that, which is irritating. But these were on sale at Target for $15 each. You get the playset for 15, and then you get the characters for 15. It's the entire family, including the dog and the cat. Which is crazy. And then they have, so these are 2.5 scale figures. And this is a scale that increasingly I'm appreciating more, especially just as prices are going up. But like, it's pretty cool the level of detail on this stuff for as small as these are. And it's a really good. This is getting washed out real bad, but it's. I may have to change my lighting here. Let me just turn this off for a second. So my lighting's not as great, but you can actually kind of see these. And it's a good scale for more cartoonish, less detailed things. I don't need these to be gigantic, but they're putting out figures in two different scales for Simpsons. So they've got the 2.5 scale and I think like a 5.5 or 6-inch scale. And these are, when you get the individual ones, are only $5 a piece, except they get bought up by collectors immediately and scalped all over the internet. And so if you can find that set of just the family in the wild, it's 15 or $20, which is wonderfully reasonable. And then the individual ones are supposed to be $5. But I would like to full on collect these and be a completionist with these. They're inexpensive, and I like The Simpsons well enough to get these. I never bought the old play sets from years ago. I forget which company had those, because in figures, because they got expensive quickly, and they were kind of large. But I would buy all of this if they were easier to get. But people like to scalp them for like 12, 14, $20, some of them, and they came out at $5. And I just have a principle of the thing, DJ. I won't pay those prices for something that was intended to be $5 in the first place. So I didn't find out about these until like the third wave, and it's annoying because I don't know if I can go back and get the rest of it now.
I am with you. I actually like the smaller scale now that I get older, especially for cartoony stuff like that, but it's still so expensive. There are actually some Popeye figures from Boss Fight that I would love to get, because that's like a big thing with me and my kids. Like we watched through all the Popeye stuff together. It's actually started on HBO Max, and then we got the DVDs. My daughter loves Popeye, and she also loves she loves playing with like little figures, not necessarily like action figures, but little figurines. Like she just loves she's really imaginative like that. And I'd love to get her these, but they are like $40 a piece, even though they're like these little 4-inch guys, and I
Just no.
I can't pay that much for something I'm going to give to my daughter, and she's going to smash around and mess up the paint. So I would love, though. They got Popeye, they got like Olive Oil, and everybody. They've got like the Hamburger Man, like all the little guys. It's great. They look really cool. There's also like some Scooby-Doo ones coming out now. It's all these like geeky adult, kind of like NECA, but different companies like you're talking about, and it's just like, I would love those, but I can't pay $40 for a figure. I can't even collect figures anymore. Like I used to. I was on a Marvel Legends kick when I was on the show a couple years ago, but they're just getting so expensive now. Like they just did Maximum Spider-Man, and he's $50 retail.
No,
Retail.
no, that's insane, man. Yeah, I can't do that.
The last two, I actually pulled these off because you said you were going to show some toys. The last one I got, the only one I bought this year was they did a Spider-Man Unlimited, which is pretty.
I
I
saw
just bought
that.
because I thought it was crazy that they did
That's
Spider-Man Unlimited.
yeah, it looks great out
Um,
of the box.
yeah, it's really fun. They did the good job on the cape. It's not cell shaded like the show. Like he always had like a black circle on his
Right.
face, but
Yeah.
he looks a little different. But that's cool. And then this one was like last year sometime, but they did a really nice Scarlet Spider that you would love.
Ooh, I'd like to have that. Yeah,
It
that's
looks really
cool.
cool. This is like the first time they did the little hoodie strings as separate pieces.
Oh,
It's just
wow,
really
really?
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you'd like those. I still grab a Spider-Man like every once a year, I guess.
Well,
Or
that's all
every
you can
6 months.
afford at those prices.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like 25, $30. I think those are 25. But then the Maximum Spider-Man had like a bunch of extra accessories and heads and stuff, so they charge 50, which is crazy. So I'm not doing it. I am
Yeah.
stuck on movies. That's all I can collect. I like to collect other things. Like I used to collect books and stuff, but yeah, I've had to focus in on one thing. Speaking of books, I'm gonna go ahead and show this. This is a crazy thing, but I feel like your subscribers will probably be interested in this. This is a fan favorite. I don't know if you grew up with this movie or not. I don't think you did.
Oh, yeah, I
It's like
did. No, I talk about Neverending
right
Story
now.
all the damn time.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's
Look
awesome.
at this.
I would love to have that.
I don't know why it's gigantic. The book is not this big in the movie. It's not even like a to scale replica. Like this is a movie. It's gigantic. This is from Imprint, another Australian company. I haven't mentioned them yet. But I mentioned Viavision, and they're like part of the same mega conglomerate thing. But Imprint is very expensive. Not only is the shipping expensive, but this by itself, I think, was like $200. The only reason I was able to get this was because a very generous subscriber named Hamdan from Dubai gave me like a really generous super chat. But this is nuts. Like this is huge, and inside you've got like a lot of these things do like replica art or replica lobby cards and stuff. This one's got like a full scale packet that has like look at like I can't even like they're just and there's like 50 of them. These are like the lobby cards that they actually sent out for marketing the film at the time. And they're like full page, like really nice quality. This is definitely not for everybody. This is super collector set, and I don't even have the movie in here because I put it on my shelf separate. I got to go grab it. But the film is in here. You do get the film, but here
Oh,
it is. It's
that's
another
good.
one.
That's a nice case,
It's
too.
another
And
one.
that is lenticular.
Yeah, it's another lenticular. So, like I said, same company that makes these. This is just like the imprint line from Viavision. This is really nice. This is the first time that you can get like all the versions because there's the international cut that we saw here in America, but there's an original German cut that the director made. He made the film. He showed it to Spielberg. Spielberg gave him some edits. He made the edits and then published it. And he kind of basically takes out some violence and adds the big famous like synth score that everybody knows. The original score is different, and I actually really like it. I don't prefer one over the other. I think they're both great cuts.
I've never seen
I
that.
really recommend.
I need to do that.
I recommend watching both. My daughter fell in love with this movie when I bought this set. We've watched it 4 times together already. Like, and I just got this in January. She, for some reason, loves this movie. She loves Falcor. She's watched both cuts with me. This also includes the what's it called? Life After the Neverending Story, that documentary that was made about the tragic things that happened to a lot of the cast from the film. It's a really nice complete set, and I wish they would just put this out by itself for like $40 or whatever, because that would be great. I love this, but the box set's cool. It's the biggest thing on my shelf. I usually keep it way up there on top because that's the only place it fits, but there's these art cards in here. There's also like a full write-up, like all these, I don't even know what all these are. These are like the biographies of the characters and the actors that they would have sent to like theaters and stuff and studios to market the film at the time. Really cool. I like this kind of recreation stuff of the originals, but yeah, I think the price on that one is a little too steep. I think they need to I would have liked this to be more of a replica of the book from the movie, a little smaller. I don't know why it has to be this big, but it looks really nice. It's like, I think there's like actual metal on there, and if you can find one, I think it's still in print. I'm not sure, but I also recommend that German cut. It's really fun, and a little darker. And there's some extra scenes, like especially with like the elf and his wife. When there's like a lot of fun scenes with them bickering back and forth while he's trying to prepare him to go through the sphinxes. Just some fun stuff that you haven't seen. Anyway, that's Neverending Story. Not a movie I grew up with, but I'm gaining an appreciation for it as an adult.
So I'm super jealous of that. If that was cheaper, I would totally get my hands on that. So that's a movie I have a massive soft spot for, and my wife doesn't like it at all. And
oh, no.
I don't think it holds up great, but I still am kind of a massive apologist for it. There are those things I still love in it. But it's I don't know. I've liked it a little less every time I've seen it. So I try not to watch it too much because it keeps hurting my feelings. But I still have a real soft spot for it. I could be wrong about this. I don't know. I have to do some research, DJ, but I think it's possible the reason they made that box that big is it's possible the original book came out that big. I don't know because I've never seen it, but I've never looked at it. I've never got my hands on one, but it's possible the original book was oversized like that.
Maybe so. I don't know if I've ever seen a book this big. It's gigantic, but we should do a commentary on this.
I would really like to. Yeah,
I have such a soft spot
I've
for
meant
it.
to do it forever. So Atreyu and Falkor is a thing my wife and I still yell at each other all the time. We actually had this conversation just last week. The thing on the front is called the Orin. Like, yeah, no, I know stuff about Neverending Story.
Yeah.
I would like to eventually. This is going to sound morbid, but years from now, when our dogs are no longer with us, I would like to get a much larger dog that is white and has that kind of fur that I can name Falkor. That's kind of a goal of mine eventually, is to get a giant Falkor dog.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, my daughter calls him the dog dragon. She loves him.
Yeah.
And she likes that part of. My least favorite is the stupid ending where he like chases the bullies. But she loves that. Obviously, she loves that part. She's 4.
And like, what is happening? It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, how did he go into the real world through the book? Okay, I guess we're not supposed to care. I guess it doesn't matter.
But it's so charming. Like I love the practical effects. Like you can kind of, obviously you can tell the stone giant's just like a guy in a big old suit, but it's so charming. I think that's what I took away from rewatching it. And I love how earnest it is.
There's a lot of there's a lot of really inventive stuff in that. I love the giant turtle. Everybody loves the rock guy on the tricycle. That's great. I like the look of the ivory castle. I mean, I liked the
all the people there.
I like the music in those scenes with the princess. All that stuff is great. The kid that plays Atreyu has this really distinct look that. And sound that like nobody else had, but is also somehow very, very 80s. Like, I don't know why. And it's funny because somebody in the comments, so Cinematographic asks, probably playfully, is the actor who plays Bastion a boy or a girl, Cap? Well, he's a boy, but I always thought the kid that played Atreyu was, like, interestingly effeminate.
Yeah. No, it's really cool.
I don't mean that like a weird way. I just mean in like clearly a masculine enough character, but he's got this femininity about him that makes that helps to make him more of an empathetic character. I don't mean to the audience. I mean he as a character is empathetic. And he always seemed a little feminine in not a weird way. It really works for that character because he's supposed to be this like warrior character, and he's got this altruism underneath him. Really good performance.
Yeah.
Like probably my favorite performance in that movie. I love him.
He is selling that. Yeah, he has to do so many things in that and scream, like he's screaming the whole movie, and he really sells it. I didn't even finish opening this up. But this is also in here. This giant folder.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Which has a full-sized theater poster in it. Like this is the folded up version, but it's like the big ones that you see in the window. Like it's that full size, and then it also has these
Wow.
giant. Like look at this. Like these are
So
full lobby
that
cards.
okay, but DJ, that probably answers your question. They probably had to make that thing that big to get those the size they're supposed to be.
Yeah, if they wanted them to be
They didn't
totally
blow those
realistic.
up. It seems like they're going for absolute authenticity with all the stuff that was sent to theaters and everything.
There's your dog. There's your future dog that you're gonna get.
DJ,
Yeah, and
you
that makes
started this with "I probably won't care." This is the thing you've shown that I know it's I gotta have that at some point. Like, I'm gonna need to look
well,
for deals and see if I can get because I won't pay $200 for that. But if I can find it cheaper, I'm probably getting that at some point.
if you really want it, I would go before it goes out of print because
Ah,
these skyrocket. Like you know that Mario set I sent you that
yeah.
they did a beautiful 4K. That was also it wasn't Imprint, it was Umbrella. It was another Australian
I was
company.
really tempted by
And
that.
it was $100 retail. Everyone ranted and raved about it last year. It was like the best physical release of last year. It had like so many supplements. It had like a full hardbound book. The script was included. All this like film history stuff to learn about that film. And now it's going for like 300, 400. I think you can maybe get it for 250 if you like look around a lot, but it's way higher than
I
what
should
it
have bought
originally
it
listed
on
for.
that sale when you sent it to me because I could have gotten it for 70, but like I didn't care that much, but it did look like a really cool release. Like I was on the fence
Yeah.
about it.
Well, that was even like the reprint.
Oh,
They did a reprint because the first one sold out immediately. That's pretty much the same thing. The hardbound book is a paperback book in that one, and you don't get like a couple of the art cards or whatever. But yeah, that one's fine too. If you can find that one, you can probably find that one for like 100 still. But look, that's where the movie sits in there. Once you get all the art cards out, it just like sits in there. It's so nice.
that's cool, but it's so weird because there's so much space around it.
Yeah, and I just keep it out because I don't want to take this down every time we watch the movie. But I'll put all this away when we're done with this video. But yeah, I thought you guys would get a kick out of that one. I didn't know you had such a soft spot. Maybe we'll do that after we do Willy Wonka.
We
We'll just go
should.
through fantasy 70s and 80s movies.
I gotta see if I can somehow get my hands on that.
But yeah, the German cut is interesting because he makes all these different choices. So in the you know how when Artax dies in the theatrical version, it's got like this synth just like revving up, and it's
Yeah.
kind of a little overbearing. In the German cut, there's no score. It's just dead silence.
That's great.
And they include a horse yelling. Like it's so much darker and bleaker in that version. It's so creepy. Like they actually have the horse like whinnying in pain.
You can
It's
tell
brutal.
there's supposed to be sound there,
Yeah,
and they just cut it out for
it's
the
very
American
different.
version.
And I actually really like the original score. It's really some of the score is still in it. They didn't completely replace the score,
Yeah.
but you have competing scores. You have the synth score and the orchestral in the theatrical.
Now, was
So
that
I actually
released?
liked it.
Was that released any other way, or do you have to buy that thing to even get that cut? Because I've never
No,
seen
no.
that.
You can just get the German cut in 4K. It got a release a couple years ago. It was the only way to get it, and now Imprint got the rights to it, so
Okay.
it's on the same.
I'll
But yeah, you can just get that by itself.
I'll look for that. Well, I've got more stuff. I'm sure DJ's got more stuff. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll finish this up. And if people have questions they want to ask us about anything, we'll start fitting them in between this stuff probably. And once again, if people want to throw in super chats about anything at all, I'm doing a top super chatter goal tonight, and the top super chatter gets a video message from me in the next couple of days. And if Robert ends up winning, I'm probably not gonna make him a video, but
He only paid $2 for it.
I might just to be, just to be nice. But I see Robert all the time. So anyway,
You just saw him, yeah.
if anybody is interested in that, throw those in and give us just a couple minutes. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back. It's time for the second half of tonight's edition of the Captain Logan Show. Once again, I've got DJ with me tonight filling in for Jason, and we've been showing off cool things that we own, and DJ has won the night so far with his gigantic, like million-yard sized never-ending story box set, and I'm reeling from seeing that. I gotta have that thing. It's amazing. Guys, we're going to show off some more stuff. We'll also do Q&A in the second half, so if there's anything you want us to answer, me or DJ or both of us, let us know in the comments. And DJ, if you see anything cool that I don't, feel free to bring it up. Also, once again, top super chatter tonight gets a video message from me in the next couple of days, and I will try to make it more articulate than the sentence that I just said. Jason left a comment. He's out at a concert tonight with his grandma, and that's why he's not here tonight. It was his birthday a couple weeks ago, and that's what he got to do from my mom. He says, "Hey, so cool to see DJ back for a video. Sorry I can't." He says that like he didn't know you were going to be here. Sorry I can't be here tonight. Maybe I didn't tell him, but I think I did. Question for both of you: what's the most expensive geeky thing you've bought?
Well, I've already talked about it. Geeky thing specifically would probably be that. Although, I guess if we're just talking movies in general, there's more expensive stuff that I spent. I have breaking news though. It's on sale right now for $160.
Oh man.
This might turn into a shopping stream. Have you ever done one of those? I've done one of those before.
I've done streams where I've looked up prices for things. I don't think I pulled the trigger on anything on stream.
I did a Vinegar Syndrome. They have a halfway to Black Friday sale every year, and last year I bought some things on sale. But yeah, the Neverending Story is still in print, and it's on sale for $160 right now. But yeah, the most expensive thing I've ever bought that's a movie would have to be Tales of the Four Seasons set, which no one will be interested in, but I guess I have to pull it down because that's what Jason's question is. So I've mentioned boutique labels a lot. Boutique labels are like the things I've mentioned. They put out pretty nice things, usually just hard boxes, but there's some above boutique labels. There's these premium labels, which are all from Asia. Most of them are from Asia, and one of them is called World Cinema Library. And World Cinema Library put out this incredible box set that has all 4 Tales of the Four Seasons from Eric Rohmer, one of my favorite directors, and each one of the films in here has its own hard box that it comes in. This is a series of films that he did, one for each season. So there's winter and fall and summer and spring, and I really like this series. And then hardbox, or a hardbound book in there as well. And of course, right after I spent a ton of money on this, because it's the only way that you could get these films, they weren't on DVD, I don't think. They weren't even streaming anywhere. There was no way I could watch these. So I justified splurging on this. And then Criterion adds it to the collection like 6 months later.
Oh my God,
so now you can get these movies in a much cheaper, very flimsy case, but at least you can get them for much cheaper than I paid for this. But I found this on eBay from a seller that kept it in very good. It was still sealed. So very happy and proud to have that still, because that's very rare. I don't even know what's the limited to 500 in the whole world. So pretty cool set. We should talk about that at some point, like limited editions, because there's a bunch of those now. But yeah, not as limited, but pretty limited. 500 of those. Spent way too much on that one. But yeah, almost the Neverending Story was almost right behind it, pretty much.
Yeah, well, it's a tough question for me. I almost have to put it in different categories because I buy arcade machines and stuff. So like the most expensive geeky thing I have is probably a gigantic thing that requires a couple of people to carry it. I have a couple of digital pinball machines that one of them was close to 700 when I got it. I don't think I've spent anything like that much money on something the size of a Blu-ray or a comic or something. And I have comics that are that valuable, but I've never paid more than, what is the most I've ever paid for a single issue of a comic book? I wonder. Have I ever even paid $100 for a comic book? I don't think I ever have. I have, like I said, I have comics worth that and more. But I think I paid as much as 40, 50, 60 for one single comic. And of course, I've done that for some figures and things as well. But I'll go ahead and show off something that gets into a crazier price range next, DJ. And this is what's in the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm just sitting here trying to think if there's anything else that that's not an arcade machine that I had to go to like $700 or $800 for.
Yeah,
I guess I bought collections of, because I buy a lot of things in bulk, right? So I've bought collections of, because I'm into tabletop gaming now in a way I didn't used to be. It's weird how much my habits have shifted at the same time as yours have, DJ, where you've gotten real deep into just the one thing now, and I've annoyingly expanded, and I kind of I've gotten out of things I used to collect. Like I still get comics, but I don't, and I gap fill some, and I'll buy really cool Silver Age things, and I'll spend a little bit more on a single issue than I used to. But I don't collect current anymore. But more of the current stuff I do these days is more tabletop and things. So I've paid as much as $400 or $500 for a collection of a game, but it's always like a giant, expansive, miniatures game, or deck builders, or something where that $400 or $500 is a steal. Where if you bought it all individually, it'd be $1,200, $1,300, $1,400.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking like individual things, but I've done that before. I remember a few years ago when I was just getting back into Marvel Legends, because I collected them when I was a kid. But I sent you that big box I found on eBay. It was like $400 and something, but it was like 30 figures. So it was like you said, it's a crazy deal on those. You're getting them for like less than $20 each instead of like 40 or 50 or whatever they were worth, because a lot of them were out of print at that time. So I bought that big box that with like my last bit of Geekvolution money, and played with them with the kids and stuff. And now they're actually right over here in the little display stand. I have like one of those, those clear glass. You have one behind you, I think.
I've got 3 of them down here. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not one item. And we're really blurring the line, because like a Criterion sale will happen and I'll buy like 30 movies that month, which adds up, but it's not like one item.
Right. Yeah, the thing you did with Marvel Legends, I just did that last year with Ninja Turtles re-releases. I think I bought like 20 at once. And I also just did that with Batman 66 figures. And I'll blow through some of those here in a minute. But here is... So this thing's going to be really hard to show on camera, because it is the only thing tonight that will be larger than the Neverending Story box set. This thing is heavy. It's basically a statue. I mean, it's plastic, but it's just insane how gigantic this thing is. So this is the Marvel Zombies Galactus, and he comes with an interchangeable head and arm that make him a zombie. So I'm just showing you the regular version right now, but you can also give him a zombie head and a zombie arm. This is, believe it or not, for the Zombicide Marvel Zombies board game, of which I now own all of.
That's a tabletop game?
So this is a playing piece.
That's ridiculous.
It's insane. It's 2 feet tall, and it is fully paintable. And part of the reason I had to have it is because I'm going to paint it. And I'm really excited about that. So you're talking about buying things for projects. That's what this is going to be. And I haven't started painting Marvel Zombies yet. This is, by the way, also the only way to get Silver Surfer. You have to buy a 2-foot tall Galactus to get Silver Surfer for this game. This is part of the Zombicide line. There are several different incarnations of this, and they just did Deceased. So if you like the zombie thing, you can also do it with DC now as well, which I'm tempted by. I don't know if I'm ever going to get into that, but I like this game a lot. It's a strategy game my son Freddie and I play it a decent amount now. He's way better at it than I am, and I don't like it quite as well as like Heroes of the Grid and some other things I play. So this one I own a little bit more for the aesthetic and to get to paint the pieces, but I do enjoy the game. It is a lot of fun. And the big difference between this Zombicide and other ones is you get to play as the zombies. And you also can play as regular Marvel heroes fighting zombies, so you can go either direction. And there are two base sets. One is X-Men, and one is just regular Marvel. And if you buy the regular Marvel set, you get to play as the zombies, and the X-Men set is the other guys. But every expansion comes with a bit of both, where you can be zombies or regular characters. And this is another one of those things, DJ, where I bought the main set and with birthday money last year. I loved it. And then about a month later, somebody was selling almost all of it on Marketplace for a ridiculously good deal. So I bought it for Freddie, and I split it between birthday and Christmas because he fell in love with that game even more than I did. So I got it for Freddie, and then I bought this thing for me. But and also this game solos really well. It's as good or better as a solo game, and Freddie solos it. He plays it by himself too. So anyway, it is 250 figures. And I'm not done with Power Rangers yet, so I gotta finish those before I'll start painting these. But anyway, like I said, it's got an interchangeable head and an interchangeable arm to make it look like a zombie, and you have to paint those also. And I don't know, DJ, the weirdest thing with this is gonna be priming it. Like, I don't even know where to start with this thing.
We need a whole can just to prime it.
Possibly two. Yeah, it's wild. Look at the base. Look at the detail on the base.
Nuts. You showed me like the Zordon that you got for the other game.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. But that's like smaller than the thing he's got his hand resting on.
That's right. Yeah. That's a dice tower that's about this size.
Yeah.
That was also really fun to paint. This thing is crazy
insane.
heavy. So when I first saw this, it was at a board game store, and I thought it was, because of how stout it is and it looked really heavy, I thought it was like just a display you couldn't purchase that they had at the store just to look cool. It turned out it was a playing piece and you could buy it. It was nuts. But anyway, I finally found a really good deal on this. These were like $200 retail, and maybe even a little bit more. And I got it for, what did I pay for this? $130, $140? I can't remember. But yeah, I splurged a bit on this. Because that finishes that collection. And I don't know. I had to have it, DJ. And also, I'm just a gigantic Galactus fan. If this was anybody else, but it's Galactus, like I had to have it.
I love, like, you sound like you're talking to your significant other who's just gotten, like, committed a huge crime and is in jail, and you're like, if it was anyone else, if only for you would I do this, because that's how much you love Galactus.
Yeah, I will admit that one was a little bit of tax refund money. My wife was really super cool about that. I was like, I finally found a really good deal on this. Like, are you cool if I dip into that a little bit? She was like, yeah, that's cool. So that's what I did.
Jeez, yeah, stuff is expensive, man. Especially this, they really know how to target collectors these days with like the limited runs. And
yeah, and I try to be careful not to fall into too much of that. Like, I don't want to get duped, but when I find decent deals on stuff, and like I said, that's a little different in my brain because it's a project, so it's not just a thing to have.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, we could do a whole like this discussion video about like traps for collectors, because we have both been doing it for many years now. But
absolutely,
yeah, there is, like, you have to really stay up and know the value of stuff, because people list anything on eBay. Like, people just make up ridiculous prices, and you have to know, like, even if there's only one on eBay, it's not worth that, and it'll come down eventually, or someone else will put it up. Like, don't
And
Don't
people will
act too
assume that
impulsive.
if that's the price it's at, that's what it's valued at, or that's all you'll ever be able to get it for. And you got to draw lines, you got to have boundaries, and you got to do a little bit more than a couple minutes of cursory research. You can't trust Amazon private sellers, you can't trust eBay, and you got to be patient. And it's a double-edged sword because there are some things that if you don't get them pre-order right when they come out, you might never be able to get them. Uh,
Hmm.
but I think you also have to take your losses sometimes and not, go into debt over it. Or I mean, really, please, by all, like, don't go into debt over it. But also, you gotta be careful that you don't you find your holy grail finally, and it's way more than you wanted to pay for it. And then there are all these other things that you would have loved to have had that you can't buy now. I mean, you got to think about that also. It's not always
Yeah,
worth
you
it.
gotta. Yeah, there's so much you could have, and my main issue is I always get wrapped up in like collections. Like they'll have these lines, and I'll be like, recently I got one of like this whole line because I had a deal with Barnes and Noble. They send me stuff now, and they sent me a ton of A24 stuff, and they kind of got me hooked on this line because I had pretty much all I had all of them. And there's only like two that I need, but now A24 is cranking these out, and I'm like I'm tempted to keep up with just to have them all. But then one of them came out a couple last month, Baby Girl. I don't know if you saw that movie with Nicole Kidman. I did not like it at all. It was terrible. And I'm like, I don't want to keep this just because it's part of this A24 line. Like, so I'm that's what I get wrapped up in. I'm like, same thing with these. I'm like, oh, they're gonna do all the Harryhausen movies. They're gonna do all the monster movies. I got to get all these because they'll look so great on the shelf next to each
Yeah.
other. And like, I get wrapped up in series and lines and spine numbers and that kind of stuff. And then I'll stop and look at once I get it all, and I'm like, some of these movies I don't like. I don't need to have these anymore. So that's what I'm working on right now is just curating the collection to stuff I actually want and not buying it just because it's part of a line.
Yeah.
But
And that's I mean that's like being an action figure collector and thinking that you have to be a completionist for a particular line, which I've never done. And
mhm.
I sympathize with people that do because I've been tempted by that. I mean, the closest with me is the Batman pops. Speaking of, I got a couple of those. I'll show you real quick. I
Oh,
finally
cool.
got my hands on the famous McFarlane Batman cover. I've been wanting this for a long time, and when it first came out, I for whatever reason I kept passing on it. And I'm trying to remember why. You know what? I think it was because it was one of the first of these that came out, and I couldn't decide if I was going to also do these. Because it's not just a pop figure; like it comes in a case uh, with a background, and that's not the full comic, but it's a back. So like you don't actually open these; you're supposed to keep these in the case. You'd have to break
Huh.
this to take it out. Like it stays in the case. All the Batman pops I open except for these because they're not meant to be opened.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And they should make one like this that's like a snow globe, like you shake it and it's got like
Yeah.
glitter in it. That'd be great. But anyway, so this one I didn't buy for a while, and then I stopped seeing it, and then the couple times I did see it, it was kind of expensive, so I wasn't finding it at a price I liked, and then finally I found it on a recent vintage stock sale. And it's marked 20. I got it even cheaper than that in that sale, so that was nice. These days, because they've gone up in price, I think they're like, and I mean this one specifically, but just when they do these cases, I think they're like 25, $30. But I got that one a little cheaper than that. And then I also just yesterday or the day before, this just came out, I guess. I only buy these in the wild, and so I don't even look these up to see what's coming out, DJ, because I'll be tempted to order them. So I let myself be surprised in the store, which is fun. Where I'm like, oh, they did that one, and then I buy it. And so this is a diorama for animated series Batman. So there already is some animated series Batman pops, but they finally did one where he's standing on the roof, like at the end of the intro. and that's a cool one. It's not my favorite. I kind of wish it was a little bigger. Just the stand, like as a diorama. I don't know why they made this one as small as they did. And Jason had a really great point. He said it'd be cool because they've done a couple of these that have like lights in them. That are battery powered, and he said it would have been cool if they tried to find a way to make this where it's dark and then you press a button and it lights up. Because the end of that intro is you just see him as silhouette, and then lightning hits, and then you can see him. So he's like, why didn't they try to find a way to make that happen? And I'm like, yeah, that would have been awesome. But I still like it. It's good. I do think this one could be a little better, but they did okay with it. And I got a bunch more recent ones that I showed off in my full Batman Pop collection at the beginning of the year. So that's why those aren't here. I did go through all those already. That's like 3 hours of Pop figures.
What do I have left? I have a couple of little stragglers here. I haven't said anything about these two labels, and these are my two favorite labels right now besides Criterion. And you might be interested in this one. This is a company called Radiance. They're also from the UK. They've got on the hardbox bandwagon, and this is a lovely. Well, I forgot. Every time I try to open this one, I forget. It does not want to come out. This is a film called Planet of the Vampires. It is an Italian film by Mario Bava, and it's sort of retro futuristic, very over the top of the costuming and stuff. It's from that era. I think it's like 50s or 60s.
Oh, interesting.
65, but it apparently, according to the back of this, inspired the original Alien film. Inspired Ridley Scott.
Well, I'll have to make sure and watch that. I love what I've seen of Bava, cool. But I need to go through his catalog.
Exactly. That's why I thought.
As you know, I like Bava, but I've not watched enough of his stuff.
Yes, this is same guy who did Danger Diabolic, and I think this is also 65. It comes with this awesome book, and this kind of looks like an Alien, like the company.
It does.
Newtonics so I'm excited to watch this. Oh, as I break it, I'm very excited to watch this because of your love for Bava, and you've talked about Danger Diabolic forever, and I really want to buy that. And also, this reminds me of Barbarella, which I watched for the first time last year and loved because it got a really nice edition.
I think Arrow. Did Bava make that?
No. But it's just kind of the same like space 60s vibe.
So I always mix that up because the main actor in Diabolic is in that movie. That's what always throws me off. Yeah, they are related, but the director did not make both of those. Fascinating. And they come out like a year or two apart. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, that's just another movie I'd love to do a commentary on. That's Roger Vadim. Is he another French guy? I didn't realize that was made by a Frenchman. That's awesome. But that's cool. That's a fun movie, and I watched that recently, so I'm in the mood to check this out. And you should try that. Danger Diabolic is getting a 4K soon from Kino Lorber.
I know. I really want that.
That's very exciting. I'm finally going to get my hands on it. Before this, the only company that put it out was Imprint, the same one that did the Neverending Story. It didn't do that treatment for Danger Diabolic, unfortunately. But now I can get an affordable version of it because that one's long out of print.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch two Bava films close together. And then this is Deaf Crocodile, which is such a cool label. I highly recommend everyone look at Deaf Crocodile's site. They put out like almost exclusively genre stuff, fantasy, sci-fi. They put out a lot of animation. This is an animated movie that came out just a couple months ago. Gwen and the Book of Sand, French animated movie, also from the 60s.
Interesting.
60s? Can't remember exactly when this came out, but it's like a passion project, like one dude and a couple other animators animating the whole thing. They went up like in the mountains of France and locked themselves in this little apartment and like animated everything. It's hand paint, like it's animating hand paintings, and it looks beautiful. It's one of the most interesting animated movies I've ever seen. They did a 4K of this, Deaf Crocodile did, and all of their releases are just as interesting as this one. They do like I said, a lot of animation, a lot of world cinema, but mostly genre stuff that I find fascinating. So I really wanted to shout out Deaf Crocodile. And then this one. How many more do you have? Because I
actually have quite a bit of stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have to go through all of it. I just 4 months I have a decent amount. Which is funny because this was going to be a year I wasn't going to spend any money, and then some stuff came up, and whatever. I'm hopeless. So it's up to you. You can go and do your last one, or you can save it if you want to, because I'm gonna have to go on
No,
for
go
a little
ahead.
while.
Yeah, go on for a little bit. I have one more like fun one, and then I actually have a box that I haven't opened yet that I
Ooh,
might just open on camera because it just got here today. And I'm excited to get them open because it's a couple box sets I'm looking forward to.
that'd be
But yeah, go
cool.
ahead.
Yeah, DJ. I would, obviously love to do to get back and start doing commentaries with you again. It'd be neat if, like we're both busy. I don't know how often we can do them, but it'd be cool to do kind of a semi-regular series, just doing movies that it's like high time I finally did, where it's like, where is that commentary on the Geekvolution channel, and just stuff that's not superhero but is like mostly I mean, I'll do some non-genre stuff. Like I still want to do one with you on Facing the Crowd, for the three people that own
Yeah,
that. But like we've talked
it's
forever
kind
about
of a
doing that. We almost did that once, and then I ended up
yeah.
axing it because it wasn't streaming anywhere, and I'm like, I wish I'd just done it.
Yeah, and then I sent you the disc. I sent you the Criterion.
Yeah,
But
thanks
yeah,
again for
that's
that.
kind of a different thing though. Like there's a difference between an academic commentary and like just a goofy fun commentary. But I like doing both. It's just you got to be in a different headspace, and one you got to prepare a little bit more for. But yeah, like I wouldn't feel comfortable to talk about Facing the Crowd right now. If we were gonna do that tonight, I would be like,
Oh no,
I don't
me
remember
neither. Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I prepare for most commentaries, but you know, we'll we don't do as many blind ones as we used to.
Yeah,
But more often I save those for TV shows.
yeah. Willy Wonka, I wouldn't need to prepare for because I've seen that movie 7,000 times. But
Yeah, exactly.
most other things, I would definitely give it a rewatch and read up on it.
Okay, I'll just real briefly go through the recent Batman 66 figures I bought. I had not collected these in a little while, and then I found out that McFarlane is losing the DC license, and this line is finally going to end. And I went, I better go ahead and buy up the ones that I don't have yet in case they go up in price. So I got a big box, that they did like package releases where they do like 6 or 8, and it gave me several that I was missing, and then 1 or 2 that I didn't really care about, but I just ended up with. I may be done with this collection now. I might have bought all of these I'm going to buy. I don't have the entirety of it because, like we were saying earlier, DJ, I don't feel the need to own every figure in a line. Now, I would with Batman 66 if they were all from the TV show, but they have put out some figures from the comics, and I like those comics a lot, but I display these in the 3 playsets that they put out. So I've got the Batcave, and I've got the Villain Lair, and the Wayne Manor playset, and it just looks wrong when they're not from the TV show. I have a couple exceptions like that. Like I bought the Two-Face because he should have been in that, and he looks great with everything else. But some things like, I don't know, do I need Lord Deathman? Like, I think I'm okay without Lord Deathman. It just doesn't really fit with the rest of the stuff from that show. But anyway, so stuff that I bought recently. So here is the Joker from the here. Let me turn this light off. From the '66 movie. With his spray gun thing. I wish they'd done this with all of the villains from that, but they just did it with this one, and this is a great looking figure, but it's very lazy because these straps don't connect to anything. If you can see that there, DJ, they just they don't go all the way across. It's very
Oh,
lazy. And McFarlane has done crap like this going all the way back to the early '90s. Like he's got a really good toy company, but occasionally they kind of I don't
throwing
know
it in.
what I'm looking for. Yeah, yeah. They phone. I was gonna say pull their punches. That's not really the right way to put it. But they'll just get kind of lazy with stuff. This one's weird because it's the bat suit colored like the poster. They had a really famous poster that was miscolored, so they did a figure to
Oh yeah,
miscolor it, which is
I've seen that orange one.
awesome. Here is Clock King. So I find and his cape fell off. But I've got the Clock King now from '66, and that's one of my
For
favorite
some reason, I
episodes.
heard Cloth King, maybe because you said Cape right after it, and I was like, Cloth King is a great villain
Yes,
name.
the Cloth King, and they made a bookworm So that's one that I was really waiting for, and I'm glad they finally made. Still a couple of major ones that they never did. We don't have a Mad Hatter. I don't think we'll ever get that now, which is unfortunate. But they did make an Alfred and outside of the Batsuit, which is great. So there is a Batsuit Alfred. I have that. The only difference is, I mean, it's just the same figure as the Batman, except they put an Alfred head on top of it, so it has the cowl and a mustache. But this is regular Alfred with his duster. And then I finally broke down. I had to pay a little bit more for this than when it first came out, but I didn't get it right away, so I was willing to pay a little bit more to finally get it. But here is the Eartha Kitt Catwoman, and I wish they'd done one for all three of them. So there is a Julie Newmar, and there's an Eartha Kitt. They never did a Lee Merriweather, but that's okay. At least we got the Eartha Kitt. So I'm glad to have her. And the face looks really good. It looks really close. We're not going to get all the vehicles that I want. We're never going to get a Batcopter now, which makes me sad. Also, to scale, that would have been insane, what the size you'd have to make for that. But we got a Batboat, a Batmobile, and a Batcycle with the sidecar. And we also got, finally, the Batgirl cycle in all of its purple and yellow glory. This was one of the big ones I was really hoping they'd make, and I'm shocked they made it too, because McFarlane didn't put out a regular TV show Batgirl. But when I was buying the Mattel figures, I got the Batgirl from Mattel, and she's basically to scale. So I actually have a Batgirl that goes with this Batcycle. The only Batgirl that McFarlane made goes with the late 70s cartoon show that New Adventures of Batman, or Batman New Adventures, that Adam West and Burt Ward voiced on. And so they made that Batgirl at the same time as they did this Batcycle. But this Batcycle doesn't go with this Batgirl. This is from the TV show. This is not. It's really strange. So I'm glad that I had the Mattel figures from before. So the way I collect the 66 figures is I put the McFarlane stuff with the Mattel stuff. And if I already got the Mattel figures, I don't have to have the McFarlane figures because they're nearly the exact same scale and they look very similar. So I'm lucky I had that. And this, back in the day, you had to buy in a 3-pack with a Batman and Robin just to get. And it took me a while before I finally pulled the trigger on it because I had to buy figures I had already just to have her. But I'm really glad I did that, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have a figure that goes with this Batcycle. And this is the nerdiest damn thing, but it was very, very important to me. And then that 6 or 8-pack or whatever it was also came with a Wonder Woman, which is not a figure I would have bought because she's not in the TV show. And it's odd she's in that line. It's because the comics did crossovers with Wonder Woman 77, which would technically make this TV show Wonder Woman, except she doesn't look like the Wonder Woman from that TV show. She looks like she's from the comics. And the costume is pretty much the same, but they didn't go with a likeness for the TV show version. This is one of the best sculpts I've seen in a really long time. Her face looks fantastic. I'm very happy with her, and I would not have bought her if it weren't for the fact that she just came in this box. But I'm actually glad I did, because I think she's really cool. I think she looks really good. But anyway, so those are all the 66 figures that I recently bought, and I'll do a collection video with the rest of them at some point. But it's a really good collection. I'm happy with it. There's just a few things we'll never get now that I really wish we would. But somebody else will probably get the license at some point, and hopefully they'll make figures in this scale. So
I am so excited to hear that you're starting a Wonder Woman collection. I mean, you've got the coloring book, you've got the figure now. Killing it. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Maybe collect some pots and pans or cutlery.
Sorry that was so long-winded. I did that as fast as humanly possible.
No, that's cool. You've been buying some cool stuff this year. I've just been buying movies. This next one is going to be the weirdest thing I've talked about, but you might be interested in this. I don't know. I don't know if you'll be interested in this. I wasn't expecting you to be so interested in the Neverending Story. This is just a small one. Vinegar Syndrome is a company that does... They are like the kings of really tapping into all the collectors' deepest, darkest urges, and are like taking advantage of our sickness of collecting things. Like they've got like all these sales going on, and that at the right time they do a Black Friday sale every year, and they have all these limited editions, and they have slipcover versions that come out first, and then they release the standard version. Like their slipcovers are like super sought after. They go for crazy prices on eBay afterwards. This is a movie that sold out like immediately, like within the hour that it came out. Usually they put out Vinegar Syndrome's known for putting out like just garbage film, like stuff that didn't make it to like old VHS, like just exploitation, like trashy stuff, almost porn basically. But this is a recent film, like a brand new film, and I totally missed that. I didn't even hear that it was coming out from Vinegar Syndrome. It's called Hundreds of Beavers. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It came out just a couple years ago, 2024. Well, it just got a wide release like last year. It's not even wide. It was like a very small release, but it is this. It's basically this one guy. He's like directing, and I think he's also maybe he's not starring. Maybe it's a different guy, but it's a very small production, and you can tell he's basically on a green screen like the whole time. Not the whole time. It's shot out in the middle of like a snowy, Alaskan-looking landscape. But it's basically a video game movie. It's like if Oregon Trail met Buster Keaton and mixed with Looney Tunes. Like that's what it is. Like this one guy going around against these guys. It's just clearly just a bunch of guys in giant beaver costumes. But the visual effects are so bonkers and zany and like over the top and crazy. And the rules are just like Looney Tunes physics. And it feels like a Buster Keaton. There's no dialogue in it. They're just making like goofy noises, and it's basically like him. Super simple story of him trying to win this woman from her father by killing a bunch of beavers and giving them to her father, giving the pelts to her father. And that's all it is. And it feels like there's like these weird segments where you go into like Oregon Trail and you're like picking, he goes to like the father's shop and is like picking items to use. And like, I can't even really explain it. You kind of got to watch the trailer because it is such a weird, one of a kind movie. I've never seen anything like it. I watched it. I think it was streaming actually this year on my birthday. I remember watching this year. I was like, I have to own that. It's crazy. And the booklet in here is not essays. The artwork on this is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but even behind the discs, there's like this crazy artwork, and the artwork on the slip is really good. I found this on eBay. I paid a little bit for it. More than, I think I paid more, quite a bit, not quite a bit, like maybe 25 more than it was list price. But the booklet is just all movie parodies. So like with beavers in them. So there's Fargo, there's Reservoir Dogs. I don't know who did all these posters. There's Showgirls, there's Phantom Menace. Like it's just like 40 or 50 pages of all of these. I don't know who did all these.
That's crazy.
There's a RoboCop one.
There's
Fellowship of the Ring.
That's fascinating.
It's just like a trolley kind of movie. I feel like Austin would love this movie. But it's actually really, if it was just that, it wouldn't be good. But it's actually the special effects and the stunts and everything are done like really, really well. And he really captures like that old Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin vibe. And I really, really liked it. It's super unique movie. I can't wait to see what the director does next. That was one that I was willing to pay a little bit more for because I wanted it in the collection. Vinegar Syndrome also put out recently another one that sold out. Like I think it came out at the same time as that. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. There's another one I snagged after it was out of print, which I first learned about on your channel because Superhero Enthusiast reviewed that for Who Reviews the Reviewers.
I kind of remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a fun one. I'm gonna finally get to watch that this Christmas because I finally hunted that one down. But yeah, I've been buying all sorts of weird stuff. Mostly overseas boutique labels is what I've been hunting down. I just made a Vincent order that'll probably be here in like 6 months because they take forever to ship stuff, but it's fun. It's weird. Most of the stuff is reviewed, on my channel. If you want to learn more information, I'm trying to do like a speed round. It's like a speed round, Films by Color speed round. But yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. That's interesting.
I recommend it, especially if you can see it in a theater with people. That'd be really fun. I just watched it at home with Grace, which was also fun.
So I'll go through some other things real briefly. The only comic I threw in here, because I got so much stuff recently, I figured I'd just grab things from every possible collection. So this is a thing I've wanted for a long time, and I haven't been buying new comics, but I've got a good relationship with a comic shop that opened recently that's right next to my son's dance, and we actually have a scene in the movie shot at this comic shop, and they know what I like, and they'll occasionally call me when stuff comes in. And I got finally the first issue of the old Archie Nights in a Dream series, which I have reviewed on the channel, but I had to get digital scans to review it because these have never been traded, and they're expensive and they're really hard to get. And they sold me the first issue for $10, which was a really good deal on it. And I'd like to eventually get the rest of this, but I'm just really happy to have that. And if all I ever get from this is the first issue, at least it's the first issue, which had a lovely cover. And these are not very good, but I really want them in my collection because I'm such a gigantic Knights fan. So anyway, that was a really big deal to me to finally get that. I bought that probably 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, you got to have that just for the art. I mean, it's one of your favorite things. It's on your arm.
It is. It's right here. And it's just my favorite thing. And I still play it all the time. Okay, so now I'm going to get to Batman vehicles. I have more than one today. So which one of these should I do first? So I'm starting to fall in love with this company called Spin Master because they are putting out figures and toys that are both cheap and really nice, high quality for what you get anyway. And I first looked, they've been around for a while apparently, but I had not noticed things by them. And I was at a Target a couple months ago, and there's been a bunch of Batman Forever stuff coming out this year for the 30th anniversary. People keep sending me messages going, Cap, why is there so much Batman Forever stuff this year? It's the 30th anniversary. Oh, that's why. Okay. People that don't like Batman Forever think it's bizarre that all of a sudden there's all this Batman Forever stuff coming out. And I'm like, yeah, because it's the anniversary. So Spin Master. So I saw this this Batman Forever car at Target, and it was sitting on the shelf, and it was $20, and I was like, I have to be seeing this price wrong, and I got closer to it, and in fact, they put out a somewhat smaller kind of replica of the toy that came out in the 90s. I actually have the original, but it's missing pieces, so I bought this, and it just looks really nice, and it's like as detailed as it needs to be. And it's a little lightweight, but it's honestly more heavy duty than I would have expected for the price. And it comes with a little Val Kilmer figure, and he looks a lot like the figures that came out for this movie back at the time. They've also put out a Two-Face and a Robin and a Riddler that are all based on those old figures. They're a little smaller. They don't look exactly like them, but they're in similar poses and stuff. And I don't know, it's $20. I couldn't even believe it. I think this is a great car. And they put this out around the same time as McFarlane did their big $100 one, which is a nicer product, but it's not as $100 nice as this is $20 nice. And I was just very impressed with them. So I felt like, just on principle, I had to buy that. And I don't have enough representation of this car in my collection. So Batmobiles, I like to just have represented in some way. So I try to have one of each of the at least the best ones. And then, speaking of Spin Master, I actually just ordered this yesterday, and it came in the mail. This is their, and I hung onto the box for this one. So this is their Batwing, and this was, again, $20. It's a nice size. The only thing that I don't like about this one, and again, it's hard to complain with the price, but they didn't detail the underside of it. It's kind of just a generic underside, and if you're very familiar with the Batwing, it's got plenty of lines and things on the underneath, and I've had like die-cast versions of this before. I'm a big fan of the Batwing, and so I know what the underneath is supposed to look like, and so it's a little bit sad that that's not there, but they did put the landing gear in the bottom, and that's nice. I wish the wheels spun, but it is cool that it's got landing gear. But anyway, and then this comes with a Michael Keaton figure. I wish it was to scale with the Batman Forever car, but it's not. So he's smaller, and I've been letting my kids play with these, and the girls my twins got very upset when they found out that they couldn't put the Batman Forever figure in here because it's too big. They don't fit together. They're different sizes. But what was curious about this is this product is both an '89 toy and a Batman Returns toy. It's very strange. And the box is not confused about it. So the box goes, here's the Batwing from 1989. It's got the '89 logo. The figure is from Batman Returns with a Batman Returns logo. I've never seen this with anything. So at first, when I saw that it was the Returns outfit, I was like, and I saw the Returns logo, I thought they were just like pawning off the Batwing as if it was in that movie, but that's not what they're doing. They've got it split down the middle, and they're talking about both movies on the same box.
Weird. Is that like a replica of a toy that came out at the time?
Sort of. This actually looks closer to what's really in the movie next to the toy that came out at the time.
But it's not because I know some of that weird stuff happened back in
Returns. Yeah, and I don't believe Returns put out a Batwing.
Okay, I thought maybe they were acknowledging that it was weird and just acknowledging that on the box, but maybe trying to recreate the original setup. Maybe, I don't know, but that's so weird.
I don't know what that choice was, or if whoever made this was self-indulgent and went, look, I like the Batman Returns suit better than the '89 suit, and I'm not putting the old '89 symbol on this thing. It's got to be the Return symbol, so that's what we're getting. I don't know. It's really strange, but that's another product that it felt like I had to buy based on just how cheap it was. And I don't have, like a larger scale Batwing in my collection right now. But so I don't know. That's both for collecting, and I'm letting my kids play with it. It's cool. I'll just show you guys a couple more things real fast. I'll get back to Batman vehicles in a moment, but I wanted to show you one thing from my Ninja Turtles re-release collection. This I finally got again because it went on sale. This was $40 when it came out, which I thought was kind of steep, especially for a thing that I actually have already. This is the Ninja Turtles. So this is all from the '87 show. This is the Ninja Turtles pizza thrower, which was real popular back in the day, and I had one, but I never had the original box. Part of the reason I've been buying these is to have the boxes, which sucks for the Technodrome because Amazon shipped it just in that box without a box around it, and they put stickers all over it, so they ruined my Technodrome box. I'm very frustrated about it. I'm trying to find somebody that's got one that doesn't want it so I can at least get a clean box with it. But anyway, so I never got the box for this. I actually bought this in the early 90s at an auction of all places, and it was missing some pieces. It had most of the pizzas, but I bought it again because I finally get to see all the pieces that mine didn't have on it. And again, it gives me the box. So like mine didn't have the flag here, and it didn't have I didn't know this opening front piece was even here, where like you open it and the pieces shoot out. But anyway, this is battery operated. I don't have batteries in it right now, but it's battery operated, and you turn it on, and then you push this button on the side that shoots pizzas out the front. And a lot of kids I knew had this when I was a kid, and it was one of their more popular selling things. This seat on mine is busted, and it was like taped together. So it's nice to have a pristine one now, and I only had to pay $20 for it. So that's why I finally pulled the trigger on that. And then
that's hilarious to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. That's hilarious to me that they released a pizza shooter just by itself. Like, it's the whole toy. Like, by the time I was growing up, the vans all had like pizza shooters on the front. Like, you could shoot I was like, so it was like it was a turtle van with a bunch of other stuff, and a pizza shooter was just one part of it. But there's just a rolling pizza shooter as a whole toy is really funny to me.
And I don't think that was ever in the show. I think that was just a figure vehicle. Yeah. Have you ever seen that? Did you know about that one?
No, I've never seen it. I'm used to vans shooting pizzas, not independently moving pizza shooters by themselves.
Yeah, it's a very goofy toy, but it's all the nostalgia of it, and my kids have been loving those too. Okay, the last thing I'll show real quick is the other extremely large thing I have here. So this is a beast. This is a thing that I never thought I was going to buy. I found a really good deal at it. Actually, at the same sale at Vintage Stock that I got this guy. This is $100 everywhere. I got it for half of that.
Ooh.
I'm going to show you the box first.
I like a good deal now.
Say again?
I like a good deal, so I'm excited about this.
So this is the McFarlane Animated Series Batmobile.
Oh, I've seen this at Target.
Look how gigantic the box is. It's so long. The biggest complaint that I saw from people on Amazon that bought this was it's just too damn big. Like, why, where am I going to put it? Why would you make it this big? And I bought it and I got it out of the box and I went, where am I going to put this? It's just too big, and I actually found a good spot for it. I have hilariously, DJ, I have a Batman toy box, and like the Batman branded toy box that has a bunch of figures in it, and it fits perfectly on top of that. So that's where I ended up putting it.
Oh, perfect.
I had to move some things, but that's where I put it. So anyway, I couldn't help myself with that price, so I went ahead and got it. And here it is. I mean, it's just so long. It almost makes the joke about how long this car is compared to other Batmobiles funnier, just having it in front of you. But the big selling point for this is the way it lights up. It just looks spectacular. So there's the front. There's the lights. And what's neat is when you light it up, it makes it look more animated. Like it looks kind of drawn when you light it up because it looks like it does in that show. There's the back of it with the red lights and then the yellow in the tailpipe, and then the top lights up blue, and then you open this up.
Dang, that's ridiculous. That's awesome.
And the cockpit is lit up. It's just gorgeous. And you're not going to be able to see all the detail inside, but it looks really cool in the cockpit. And I'm just very, very happy with it. It's lovely. It's too big, but it's awesome.
That's what Marvel Legends is missing. They never do vehicles or play sets or anything like that kind of stuff. That's really cool. And seeing it in your hand like that, I picture the Batmobile. It's way more sleek than I picture it. It looks closer to the Batman TV show Batmobile than I thought. I thought they were very different. But because I always pictured the '89 Batmobile when I think of that show, but it's very sleek and straight and simplified. I like it. It looks
good. No, it's like with everything in that show, it's all about being angular, but it is really long. And like compared to the Batman Batmobile, it's much longer.
Oh yeah. Well, the Batman, they eventually switched to a longer one in like the last couple seasons, but the first couple seasons it's just like a little Corvette.
It looks like a two-seater.
Yeah.
In the first season,
Yeah, they chicken out. I like the differences, but they chicken out in the last couple seasons and get a longer one. They changed the song, which is a tragedy.
Yeah, I mean, the song they replaced it with is still good, but it was a really good... Why would you do that, though?
I don't know. They're both great, though.
It was fine the way it was. No, I'm with you. And I like that car okay. It's not one of my favorites, just because the whole aesthetic of that show took a while to grow on me, but I get why people like it. Like, it's a good car.
Yeah, I grew up with it. It's just the one I watched.
We were talking on a stream recently about how toyetic that Batmobile is. And by the way, we're technically in Batman. I haven't done a dedicated Batman stream yet, besides the 89 commentaries. But I'll start doing that soon. We're gonna do a Batman movie. I'm not gonna reveal which one yet, but we're gonna do a Batman movie next week for the commentary project after we get done with Civil War this week. And I want to do a stream that made me think of this topic, DJ. I want to do a stream trying to decide what, or maybe even rank them, what the most toyetic versions of Batman are, like in extra media. What is the most toyetic of the incarnations? You need to
record a little intro for this month, where you go, it's Batman, and you play it at the beginning of all your Batman streams. That'd be perfect. I would tune in just for that.
It's a good idea.
I'm actually in the mood.
We kind of did that back in the day with Batshot.
Oh, that's right.
We had an intro that
You've had
sort
so
of
many
did that.
Bat-related shows that.
I know. Do you know how many videos are on the channel now? We are nearly at 6,000.
Jeez, that's a lot of your life. You actually have you could well, I guess you couldn't know how long everything is, but maybe some software could figure out how many hours of your life you spent on this.
Yeah, and even if it did, it wouldn't be quite accurate because like some of those videos are clips of other videos, and some of them don't have me in them. But like most of them, I can easily say you can maybe axe a total of 500 of it. It's still at least 5,000 videos.
That's crazy. I'm actually, I think I'm gonna start showing my kids the Batman show. My daughter, for some reason, she likes Batman a lot. Like I've never told my kids about Batman, but she really likes. She keeps bringing up Batman. She has like this, those dumb kids toys that like are like toy soldiers, basically like the like 12-inch ones you see at Target. Judah had a Batman of those that he got for like a birthday present from some kid, and she's been running around with it, and she keeps grabbing the box set back there. Like I have the Blu-ray box set of the Adam West show, and she wants to watch it. I'm like, okay, well, we gotta actually make that like a designated thing. I want to actually sit down and watch it with you. So I think we're gonna try that pretty soon because she keeps bringing it up.
That'd be great.
I'm also in the mood. I'm in the mood to show them the original Superman movie because they both really like the Fleischer shorts, and I just watched the Christopher Reeve doc that came out.
Yeah, it's really
last
good.
year, earlier this year.
Yeah, I reviewed it. It's really good.
I'm in the mood to rewatch.
Or I sort of reviewed it. We talked about it on this show.
Okay. Yes, I'm in the mood to rewatch the 70s film and show it to the kids for the first time. Let me see. I pulled down these. These are very different. This is not something I would cover on the channel, but I had a little extra birthday money burning a hole in my pocket because I'd never spend birthday. Or it was Christmas money, I think. So I've had it for months and months. And we were at Half Price Books, and I love Easton Press. You know Easton Press, like the really nice these books are so stupid expensive. I never buy them from Easton Press, but Half Price Books will have them for like $20 or $30, like really good deals on these books all the time. So if there's a book that I'm really interested in, I will grab it. And they're just beautiful. I love these books. I wish like our hope, like you've been in my house before, there's a room out here that's just like a useless room. It's just like a formal living room or dining room or whatever, and we have no use for it. Eventually we want it to be a library. Like we want to put these kind of shelves in there and just have like wall-to-wall books.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's way in the future because I every once in a while I'll grab some of these Eastern Press books. So I grabbed Uncle Remus, which is all of the Brer Rabbit tales because my son loves Brer Rabbit. I've read through, not these ones because these are the original Chandler stories, which are really impossible to read because he does like the dialect thing. But there is an incredible an adaptation of the stories that takes a lot of that dialogue out and takes the Uncle Remus character out and just like focuses on the tales itself that I've been reading through, and we've read hundreds of them. He loves them. We keep reading those, and this is just look at it. Every page has like illustrations on it. This is a beautiful book. I love this. I love these. This was only like $25 or whatever. You get the original. This is like the original boot. This is what movies are doing now. Like they give you a little booklet and stuff. Books. It started with books. It all started with books, guys.
That's great.
So I grabbed that one. I also grabbed The Tales of Hoffman. And I grabbed Tales of Hoffman because it is a wonderful movie directed by Powell and Pressburger, and it's in the Criterion Collection. We watched this last May, actually, because we do Musical May. We watch musicals this month, and absolutely loved the film. And I was like, I didn't know that was based on a book. So I had to grab it. And there's illustrations in this one, too. Haven't read it yet, but Tales of Hoffman. Tell your friends. It's really cool. I love these Eastern Press books. I need to get more of those, but they add up really quickly. And some of them aren't cheap. Like these ones were like $25, but a lot of them are like 50, 60, 70, especially if they're like first editions or whatever. They get pricey real quick. But yeah, I'm sure you have some of those too. Half Price Books is a great place to find those.
No, I've never gotten into exactly those. I have a lot of the Barnes and Noble collection.
Oh yeah.
And I
have a bunch of those.
And I love those. But
there.
but they're reasonable enough that
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah.
of easier to buy. But they still look really nice on a shelf. My wife and I have a tradition where we buy a couple of those on our anniversary every year. So
Oh yeah.
we have a nice collection of those. I was actually just looking at the Jurassic Park one the other day. We just did a commentary for Lost World, and I wasn't able to finish that book for the commentary, but I did start that. I've started Lost World a couple times. I've never finished it. Because it's not great
But you
what I
wait.
was reading of it,
Oh,
but I
reading it.
keep
Okay. I
starting
I
it. No, I'm saying so they have I have the Barnes and Noble edition that has both books. It's got Jurassic Park and Lost World, and I was reading Lost World, but I didn't finish it for the commentary. So
yeah, yeah. I lost the plot there for a second. I thought you had started the movie a bunch of times and hadn't finished it. I was like, wow, it's bad, but it's not that bad. I think you could finish it. No, I saw you guys did a commentary on that recently. That was cool.
yeah, that went great.
Yeah, the Barnes and Noble ones are cool. They're yeah, you're like you said, they're a more affordable like leather bound book that you can grab. Um, but yeah, I like books too. I just have to prioritize. Most of the books I buy are for the kids though, like something that I can read them, and I want them to be more well read than I was.
Well, we've got such a gigantic library. We've really slowed down because we just have a million things we've never really looked at close enough, and we are out of shelf space in my house. Like, it's bad. We had a dedicated library in my last house, and here we just have books in every room. Like, we probably have
Yeah,
two, three, four bookcases in every room.
yeah. That's how like our playroom is just like shelves all the way down the wall. We're running out of space. But I wish like there's other labels that not Easton Press. Like what's the I can never remember what it is, but I just can't pay over $100 for one book. Like they're beautiful, but I just can't do it. I got to get them from half price books. I don't know who the target demo is for those, but people have way more spending money than I do. I can't do that.
Yeah, like, the only time I've spent very much on a book is for reference stuff for Star Trek, because that's the one book collection that I have that's more massive than anything else I've got. And I actually meant to mention this earlier when Jason asked us about expensive geeky stuff we bought. Have I told you about this, DJ? There was a really low print run but beautiful encyclopedia set that came out like 9, 10 years ago. And it was an
Oh,
update of the original Okuda's. And I know this won't mean anything to you not being a Star Trek fan, but the Okudas who did all the graphics for the TNG through Enterprise era of Star Trek did in Encyclopedia back in the day that I based like my whole Star Trek club around. I used it constantly for trivia and stuff, and like
oh, that's cool.
my copy is so worn, like I needed to replace it for years. I had a hardcover. And they did an update of it at one point that had everything up through the end of Voyager, but they never did one with Enterprise in it. And they finally did a 2-volume hardcover set that comes in a slipcase, and so it's 2 books because it's so thick. And I didn't pull the trigger on it when it came out, and I don't know what that initially retailed for. It was well over $100. And then it became impossible to buy, and I only saw it online for between $400 or $500 or more, and like there was no getting your hands on it for any cheaper than that. And I finally found one. Was it last year at a half price books, and
Ooh,
they actually negotiated with me on it, and
ooh.
I got it. Yeah, it was really cool. I ended up talking to the manager about it, and I was able to talk her down a little bit. And I can't remember what I paid for it. It was less than 200. I think I might have gotten it for like 160. I forget, but I got a killer deal on it, and that was a holy grail thing I thought I'd never buy, and it's over there, and it's wonderful. Anyway, that's probably the most I ever spent for a book.
Amazing, man. I've never done that. I should try to negotiate with them sometimes because sometimes they know what they have. A lot of times they'll check eBay first,
I
and
think they
it's like,
wanted, maybe I've spent more than that. I can't remember now because I think they wanted like 250 for it, and which was still better than it was going for online. But I just wasn't sure how comfortable I was even going quite that high, and I talked to them, and they had it for, apparently it was one I didn't go to very often, and they apparently had it a while. They couldn't get rid of it, and so. Like, I wasn't trying to nickel and dime them. I've never tried to talk anybody down at a retail store like that. I think the deal was the manager happened to be behind the counter when I asked about it. And I think what happened was, now that I'm thinking about it, I think she showed it to me and she said the price, and I was like, wow, it's better than it is online. And then she saw how bad I wanted it, and I think she started talking about dropping it. She was like, well, maybe we can do something on it. And I was like, okay.
She was like, finally, someone's gonna buy it. We gotta get it out of here. It's been here forever.
So when I say I negotiated, it was more she negotiated with me. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Cool. No, I love half price books. That's a good way to kill 3 hours and $300 all at the same time. I never find movie.
Star Trek reference there, and a lot of really weird rare stuff I never knew about winds up at half price. Gotten really lucky with that.
You can get good comics there too. Like, I found one of the original, they're up there, the TMNT, you know, the big hardcovers for the Walt stuff.
Yeah.
$20 for the Raphael one, the first one. Like, I had like 2, 3, and 4, and I didn't have the first one, and I found it there. And I've seen like some Spider-Man Masterworks there, and I've been tempted by those too. Sometimes it's total crapshoot. Like, you never know what's going to be there.
They've had. I almost pulled the trigger last year on the Marvel Zomnibus. I don't know if you've seen that thing, but the
I have not, but that's the best title.
It's so thick because there's a weird amount of that. It has almost all of it. I don't think it has like the Ash Evil Dead crossover, but it's got most everything. And I think they had it there for like 40 or 50, and that book's I think usually over $100. So that. I don't know. They have really good prices on stuff. Let me read the super chat real quick from Pros and Cons guy, who with $5 I think is going to win the night. He says, "Do you think Captain Planet?" Say again.
Speaking of the steal, he got a $5. He swooped in with just $5. That's a deal.
So sorry, Robert, you got beat out. But I'm gonna make a video message for Pros and Cons guy. Do you think Captain Planet could work as a superhero? Many mock Captain Planet. It is a tougher nut to crack as a serious reincarnation than a lot of other things, but I've always thought it could be done, and I think it's Dynamite. I forget who, but there is a serious Captain Planet series about to start in comics, or maybe it's already started, which I definitely want to read when that comes out. I'll probably try to review it in trade, but I'm very excited about that. And if it's anything like what, and I haven't read much of this yet, but it looks really good. If it's anything like what they're doing with Space Ghost, it could be a treat. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, the tough thing about Captain Planet is not just not making it goofy like the cartoon show. Like how do you make that serious but not insanely obnoxiously preachy? Like, the kind of obvious thing to do with Captain Planet is for it to be like faux serious, where it's taking itself too seriously in a really tongue-in-cheek sort of way. I don't know how to do it serious and earnest. That's the tough thing with Captain Planet. And I also don't know how to keep to the original premise with it. Like, it basically has the Power Rangers problem because it's basically a Power Rangers show. Captain Planet himself is essentially the Megazord. I don't know if you've ever thought about this before, but Captain Planet is 5 teenagers come together to make a thing that's basically a kill screen move at the end of the episode. That's what Captain Planet is. By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. He's essentially the Megazord at the end of a Power Rangers episode. He's like the Megazord and in the guise of the superhero, because the Planeteers themselves don't have suits, but they do have individual powers. So it's sort of like if the Rangers had mid-morph moves, or powers, but nothing else. Like, that's basically what Captain Planet is. And I don't exactly know how to do that earnestly. The Power Rangers comics in Boom kind of split the middle, where they've got the real goofy side of it, and they still have monsters with fun punny names and things, but they can go to darker places. And maybe you can do that with Captain Planet. So I'm really curious to see how that comic series does it. I've always wanted to pitch a Captain Planet. I've been talking about doing a pitch series for a long time. That's the first thing I would start with if I finally did that. But it's kind of crazy that finally comics are doing it. I have the same problem now, DJ, that I did with Power Rangers, where it's like I had this great prequel Zordon idea, and then the comics finally did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could just combine the two and make Captain Planet become Zordon. He's already blue. He could be Zordon.
And Captain Planet sort of has its own Zordon with Gaia.
Oh, I've never seen Captain Planet. I totally missed that growing up. But he's
that was before your time. But
he's one of those things, kind of like that orange Batman you have over there. He looks like he was mispainted, but that's just how he is. Like, it makes no sense. Like, his face is the same color as his suit. Is he wearing like a tube top and a Speedo? Like, why is he the same color as his clothes? It's super confusing. But you were the first person I thought of when I saw that they were releasing the Blu-ray of the complete series. So I hope you say you did get your hands on it, or
I don't
thinking about it.
Yeah, it's not in the mail yet. I ordered it a couple days ago, and
Okay,
it
so you did
comes
order
next Tuesday. So I want to do something on that show on the channel because it's never streamed anywhere. So I've just never been able to do anything with it. I've wanted to do watch parties at least, if not some kind of review on it, but I've just never been able to get my hands on it. And that has the weirdest title for a box set release I've ever seen, because they didn't call it the entire series; they called it the entire franchise.
Is there like a TV film or something that came out later?
No, it's all seasons of the same show. It's not even like, I don't think it's even like Gargoyles, where like the last season was called the Goliath Chronicles. Like, I don't think it has anything like that.
So yeah, I'm looking at it right now on Amazon. It shot right back up. It's back to $100. So good thing you grabbed it. But yeah, Captain Planet: the complete franchise.
I didn't realize they'd already put it back at regular price. I'm really glad I grabbed it then, because that must have been like an Amazon sale day or something.
Yeah, they were doing a spring sale. It might have been a part of the same spring sale that I got the Curzon box sets in.
Maybe so.
That's weird.
Yeah, that makes me happy, because I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. And I was thinking like, I bet this is just a new price, and I'll be able to get it this way for months. So I'm really glad that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet. I really like that you're buying TV on physical. Like, did you ever watch Imprint, the same company that did the Neverending Story?
And I'm kind of sorry, I don't want to interrupt you for a second and just say, and I'm kind of back to buying TV on physical, because I have quite a bit of like I've always had quite a few box sets. Yeah. Like, I really like owning TV, but
I just think it's really cool that you're doing like this family activity. That's what I try to do, is like get the kids involved, and I think that's really cool. Imprint did these really awesome box sets. Imprint does the best box sets. Well, Indicator's better, which is what I have in this box that I may or may not open. We might not have time. We don't have to do it, but they did I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched, those two shows, and they put out these huge,
really
beautiful, colorful box sets. But they're very expensive, and I'm looking at this and I'm trying to justify it, but they're like super pricey. Dream of Jeannie is the complete series.
How high is I Dream of Jeannie?
For the complete series, for all 5 seasons, right now it is $190.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty high. That's
super pricey.
That's one of Jason's favorites. And I'm a huge fan of that too, but that's one of Jason's favorite sitcoms. That's actually on my list. I'll buy the cheaper box set at some point, because it's not hard to get. I mean, it's pretty cheap, but
yeah, you can probably get it on DVD. Or maybe even Blu-ray, but this is Imprint. They're very pricey, but I'll send you links just so you can look at the awesome box and the book, the hardcover book that comes with it and stuff. But Bewitched is cheaper. It's $120 because it's only the first 2 seasons, but they are releasing the season 3 and 4 in like next month. So that's really cool. I keep being tempted by those because I'd love to like watch through those with Grace, because I've never seen very much of it. I caught those a little bit on reruns when I was a kid, but I'd like to watch through those with Grace. I just don't have a place for TV. I'm only movies guy now. Like I've kind of fallen off TV.
Yeah, you at some point you kind of got to streamline, which I know is silly for me to say with these entries in random collections I just showed you, but like I don't keep up with TV anymore like I used. Like, I'm really selective these days about stuff. Yeah. So all the stuff I'm buying now is just things I grew up on and things that I watched when I had time to watch TV. But so like I said, I'm choosy. Like I'll find that show that kind of shocks me that it looks like my thing, and then I'll watch through it, and then I won't watch TV for like months.
Yeah, you do more than me. I can't even justify TV hardly at all anymore. It's like I could watch 10 episodes of the show, or I could watch 10 movies because they're so long these days. It's like,
and they
I really,
rarely stay good.
yeah, I never go past like a first season. They always lose me in the second season.
It's hardly ever
Too
worth
stretched
it.
out. I can't. I needed my stories in one sitting. I can't do the serialized thing anymore.
I'm really nervous that's going to happen to my favorite new show, because I got really hard into Paradise on Hulu with Sterling K. Brown, and you know how much I love Sterling K. Brown, so I had to try it out because it was a like conspiracy thriller with Sterling K. Brown, and I was like, I have to watch this, and Cyclops from the X-Men movies, and it's really great. And then I got to, and I've mentioned this on the channel before. I don't even like to tell people what the premise is, because it's one of those shows that's not supposed to be exactly like what it looks like when you first start watching it. So like I don't want to tell people what it is, just that it's a conspiracy thing, and what's his face Cyclops from the X-Men movies is the president, which is really interesting casting. But anyway, then I got to the end of it and I went, I could see this tanking immediately in the second season, and I'm really hoping it doesn't. But I don't know how I feel about status quo when you get into a second season. That might be one of those one season shows for me. We'll see what happens.
Well, I hope it holds up.
I do too. That happened to me with, I was just mentioning this to Austin today. There was a show with, we're well past 2 hours. Sorry for how long this is going, but we can wrap up here in a little bit. But sure. I haven't seen DJ in forever. This has been a lot of fun. I was watching a show with Bryan Cranston called Your Honor, which is only a 2-season show and intended to only be 2 seasons. And it really should have only been a 1-season show. And I thought that show was quite good. And then it completely lost me in the last episode of the first season. And then it kept going for a second season. And I went ahead begrudgingly and watched the first half of the second season. And I will probably never finish that show. Like James Marsden, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name.
What's it called?
In the moment, but what's what called?
What's the show? The show called that he's in. James Marsden show that you were just talking about.
Paradise.
Paradise. I think that's what I think a mom was just talking about that show at soccer practice right before I got on the live stream. She was like, talking about this James Marsden show. She was trying to explain it to us, and I think Grace knew what you're talking about.
It's been pretty popular, but if you ever watch it, don't let anyone explain it to you. It's much cooler if you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Oh, okay. Well, she may have already said too much then. I won't say anything. So
Dan's dead. James Marsden was already JFK in The Butler. I didn't know that. I didn't know he played JFK. Well, now I want to see that too.
Whoa.
No, crazy. Dan's dead. Your Honor really went places in the second season and not for the better. Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, I'm glad you're still getting your Sterling K. Brown fix.
He's so good in everything, man. Still my favorite modern actor. I like newer, relatively newer actor. Love that guy. I mean, not anymore. He's been around forever at this point, but.
Did we ever answer Robert's question that we mocked him for? He put in a super chat at the beginning. I don't think we ever did.
I thought we did. Did we not?
I know he put in a $2. Maybe you did.
Oh no,
maybe you
we didn't even. Robert, I'm sorry. I've shafted you so hard. Robert, $2 super chat. He says, "Hi DJ, favorite superhero Blu-ray in your collection." I don't know why I keep doing this. I keep thinking we've answered things we haven't answered. I also didn't apparently do any of the questions for April for Patreon questions, so apologies to, we only had 3 last month. I thought we did them, and somebody today was like, "Cap, you didn't do the questions last month," and I went and looked at them, and I don't think we did. So Jason and I will cover those next week, and then I'll open up for May after that. So apologies there. But if people want to ask questions because you can't make the show or because you don't want to leave super chats to guarantee it, patreon.com/geekvolution, just the $2 tier, and I'll make sure and actually answer them this month. Anyway, DJ, back to you.
That is a tough question. I could have used a little bit more time to stall, but
Well, I
yeah,
should have asked it at the beginning, and then we could have waited until now to finally. I'm sorry, Robert's never going to be on the channel again.
I don't have that many cool versions of superhero movies. Like I said, there's those premiums that are like made overseas that are like really crazy. But I don't buy those because they're like hundreds of dollars. And I don't go back and buy movies that I already own, like we already talked about. I'm trying to think of a cool one that I'll go ahead and grab this because comic fans will appreciate this one. And you've probably seen this one. I'll grab all three. That turned into three things that I had to grab. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Mondo. Mondo is a company that does a lot of soundtracks. Like really, you've probably seen some of the Batman ones. Like they do like really nice vinyl box sets, but they also used to do movies, and I think they're out of
and
the movie business now.
they do video game vinyl releases too that are really cool.
Yeah, and they do vinyl figures.
I
They're
didn't
like $300 for
didn't
a
know
Batman.
that. Interesting.
You should look into those. They're like they have the Batman animated series stuff they have is crazy, but they're very expensive. So maybe you should
Wow.
look into those. But they used to be really famous for their steel books, but they were UK based, so we never got them over here. And then last year, they re-released some of the Mondo steelbooks in America for the Marvel. They do one for all the MCU movies, and they only did 4. And I think they're done now. I don't think they're going to do any more. But these 3, I got 3 of them. They did Black Panther too, which I don't have. But I found these at CD Warehouse again for super cheap, like $20 for 4K steelbooks. These are super nice. My favorite one is the Doctor Strange one. It's got like Ditko-esque art. It looks, or maybe more Jack Kirby art, but it's got the slipcover that comes off. It's clear slipcover. It's got the Mondo spine number 41 on the side, and it opens up. It's like full wraparound. Like, look at that comic.
Yeah, no, you're right in the first place. Ditko's at the start of Doctor Strange. It's so awesome,
beautiful,
and I did not know about those. And I wish you hadn't told me about those.
Because like this here. Well, they released these ones released in America, so they're not that hard to find or expensive. Like
I know, but those are movies I have already, and I don't need to rebuy things.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to take the discs out
because I have all that stuff in those giant box sets I told you about.
Oh, that's right. You have the suitcase and the orb.
I have the suitcase.
Third thing. Look at even on the inside behind the discs. There's more like comic art in there. These look awesome. You can't even really see how shiny they are on, but they look great. This is my favorite though. I think the Doctor Strange is easily the best. Maybe I should have saved that one for last. But they also did Black Panther, which I don't have. Not crazy about the artwork on that one. They also did Avengers, which again I'm not crazy about the artwork. Take the slipcover off. It's just kind of more modern looking artwork. It doesn't have the comic book.
The Iron Man on the back is kind of cool.
Yeah, Iron Man's kind of cool in the back, and they have cool artwork on the discs. There's
but it's so shiny. I mean, that's the real reason to get that.
It's so shiny. I mean, and then here's the other one that you'll need to grab. Look at this.
Oh my God! Look at the stars.
First Guardians of the Galaxy. The stars come off on the slipcover.
What? Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Austin's gonna want that too. That kicks all kinds of ass, dude.
And then look at this on the back. You got the ship.
That's beautiful.
Out in space, like this artwork looks really
So
good.
I need you to explain to me how you were like, I can't think of cool superhero sets I have, and then you just bust those out.
Well, I just got these last year, and they're very recent.
Okay. You just forgot about them.
And then we've got more like space comic-y art behind the discs. Like these two are super nice. I'm really happy with Doctor Strange and Guardians is one of Grace's favorites, so we had to grab that one. Not the Avengers one. I just kind of got because I got the other two, and yeah, obviously I'm going to show this to my kids, and it's going to be a big one someday. And then they did not have Black Panther, so whoever returned these to CD Warehouse, I just noticed something. I saw these little I was like, is that scratched? Why are there these little silver flecks on the slipcover? It's Iron Man's eyes.
Oh, strange.
They put little highlights of just his eyes that slide into place like sunglasses. So it's weird. But yeah, these are pretty cool. And I wish they would do more because, like I said, in the UK, they got all the MCU films this way. But we only got these 4 released in America last year, like at Walmart's. I saw them at Walmart's. They were like $40, so I didn't think they were worth that. But then when I saw them at City Warehouse, it was that crazy day. You remember that day that I sent you? I picked up Howard the Duck on 4K and the Mystery Men 4K.
Yeah.
It was like a crazy day where someone had turned in a bunch of superhero stuff, and we just bought all of it because it was just funny to see that stuff at a CD warehouse for cheap prices. But yeah, Kino Lorber put out a Mystery Men 4K, which I have back there, and maybe I don't know, maybe I'll send that to you at some point. I don't know if I'm ever gonna need the Mystery Men 4K, but it was cool that they did that.
Yeah, I bought. I finally upgraded to the Blu-ray for that, but I would gladly accept that. That was a pretty good looking release, and I want that Howard the Duck release.
Yeah, it looks
just
good.
to have that souped up would be wonderful. And that I don't think I've upgraded yet. I don't think I have the Blu-ray for that yet. But I do have the anniversary DVD they did, which is still a really good set. They've got a lot of good special features and stuff. Because I'm still okay with some stuff on DVD. It really just depends on how early the release is. Because like really early DVD transfers just look terrible.
Yeah, that's something I would like. That was a video I tossed out. I thought about asking you to do. Maybe like I could come on and do like a little rundown of all the boutique stuff, superhero stuff or the superhero movies that are getting boutique releases, just to make people aware of like cool releases that they could get. Because we're getting several, but they're always like obviously very obscure, like the weird ones. They're not like obviously the WB is not going to sell, or Disney are not going to sell the rights to boutique labels for the big things. So it's usually like Mystery Man or Danger Diabolic is coming to Kino Lorber pretty soon. A lot of
you got the Captain Invincible one.
Oh yeah, from Severin. Yeah, I didn't talk about Severin tonight. I actually have a Severin release over there for Delicatessen, but haven't opened it yet. It's still in the box.
Yeah, you didn't bring up anything from Arrow too. I like Arrow.
Arrow's pretty cool. You know what you should get from Arrow? Arrow is releasing a Dark City box set.
Don't tell me that. I gotta have that
in a month. It looks beautiful.
They have a what is that movie? There's one I want. I can't think of it. It'll come to me here in a second. Demolition Man. They have a Demolition Man.
Oh yeah. That's in Barnes and Nobles now, if you can still find one. But that came out like 2 months ago. It's really cool.
You can get it on Amazon for $25.
Okay.
You can still order it. Because I almost bought that this month, and then I saw that sale on Captain Planet, and I got that instead. Because we actually just watched Demolition Man a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, that's there, and it's going to be a while before I need to watch it again. So.
Okay. Yeah. You can get this. Yeah, the standard's only 25. That's crazy. Yeah, there is like a big limited edition like box set version though. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those Arrow box sets.
I didn't even know about that. Nice. I thought it was just the regular standard one. I have the Arrow release for Flatliners.
Yeah, you got that when you were
here. Which
I
think I bought when I was at your place. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like Arrow. I don't buy too much from them. They don't fit in my wheelhouse very often, but I am going to get that Dark City release because that's pretty cool.
I was going to say it's more like cult horror and sci-fi stuff.
Yeah. They do a lot of horror stuff. The Arrow I do have is the fantasy stuff that they do. Like I have Barbarella, I have Legend, I have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I have Waterworld, like those campy 80s and 90s like fantasy movies.
Okay, but I'd like to have that one. Waterworld's more of a sci-fi thing. I mean, I guess it's a little fantasy-ish, but...
Oh, totally. I love Waterworld. It's hilarious.
It is. It is really funny. I haven't seen that in a long time, but that's another thing I should do a commentary at some point on with you or somebody else. But that would...
We got to do the Ulysses cut. That's what's so cool about the Arrow release. Do you know about the Ulysses cut?
I don't.
So Waterworld had an international cut that was, or TV cut basically, where they put in all like a bunch of deleted scenes like they often do to fill out time. And so it's a way longer cut and it's got a lot of interesting scenes that weren't in the original. But as you do for TV, you have to take out stuff. So they had to take out some language and some violence. A fan made this Ulysses cut, because in the extended edition, there's like a line where they compare him to Ulysses, the Greek story, which isn't in the original cut, so you only get it if you've seen the Ulysses cut. But the Ulysses cut, it was a fan edit that they put back. They kept the extra scenes, but they also put back in all the stuff they had to cut for TV, like the violence and the language and stuff. So it's like the ultimate cut, basically. And then when Arrow put out the release, they put that a nice Blu-ray edition of the fan cut on there, which was really cool. So it's not in 4K. It's not mastered in 4K, but you get the theatrical cut in 4K, and then you get the Ulysses cut on Blu-ray. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. It's really interesting, all the TV versions of things that add material that wasn't in movies, just to pad it out.
Yeah.
Like, famously, Superman has one of those. And I think Superman 2 also has one of those.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this was the only instance I knew about where they were able to put it back together.
Yeah, I've never. Well, I think some of that material is put back in for the director's cut with Superman, but I've never heard of anybody taking a fan cut. It would be so cool. This would never happen because Warner Brothers sucks, but it would be so cool to see that happen with an 89 release with the silent film cut. I did a watch for that 2 weeks ago on the 89 for 89 project, DJ, and you've got to see that. It's wonderful. So there's a fan cut where somebody made it a silent film, and they did a bunch of really interesting thematic things with color palettes, and it's just lovely. It's like, it looks great, and all the edits are real thoughtful, and somehow, even with taking all the dialogue out, and there are intertitles, but there's not a ton of intertitles. Like, it feels pretty authentic to what that would be. Somehow it's the same runtime as the original, and it's not boring. I don't even know how he did it. I expected it to be like an hour 30, hour 40. It is 2 hours.
There's so many dialogue scenes. That's crazy.
I don't know how he did, but like, it works. And I think there are people who don't love that movie that would like the silent cut better. It actually in certain ways improves on it. And you know how big of an 89 fan I am, but it takes some like story and character ideas and pulls them more to the forefront. It simplifies the whole thing, and it puts the details that don't make sense in the background.
Interesting. No, I would love to see that, because I feel like if there's a director that would work with, it would be Tim Burton, obviously. Like,
yeah.
Is it this one, Batman the Silent Motion Picture by Ben Crew?
Ben Crew.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah, it's on it's on Internet Archive.
Yeah, that's where I am. This is cool. I like the logo at the beginning. This looks really cool. Check it out.
He does such a good job with it. Yeah, you got to watch that. It's wonderful.
Going on that they used to do. Yeah, that's really cool.
It's one of the only, and then listen to my rambly commentary. But it is
I'll have to become a patron.
I can send you that. Tier. But yeah, it is the only alternate cut I'm going to get to watch for the 89 project, because there aren't different cuts of that movie. So I should have saved it for later, because it was so exciting to get to see something I didn't know what I was going to see. On that show, and then the rest of it is just going to be the movie over and over again.
Whoa, you can really see. Wow, this is cool. I feel like you can see his inspiration so much more. Like, you can see the Metropolis shots.
Yep.
So much more when it looks like Metropolis.
It's really neat.
They didn't go too crazy. Like, I feel like there's a little defects on the screen, some grain and some specks and stuff, but he didn't go like too crazy. Like, he didn't damage it too much.
Yes, and that was the thing I was kind of worried about. And it's not generic. Like, it feels like there's even thought put into how often and where. And one thing he does is he tries to make the film look. Now I'm just talking about this. He tries to make the film look like grainier, and like the film quality is worse when we have like wide city shots and stuff, which is just really authentic to that period. Where when he does establishing shots, they look worse.
Yeah, this is kind of a trend right now. I know they have algorithms with AI that can add specs in certain places. Like I don't know if you saw the holdovers from a year ago.
Uh-uh.
They did that to make it feel it's an Alexander Payne film. They did that to make it feel like an authentic 70s film. It's obviously doesn't it's not as extreme as this because this is supposed to be from the 20s, but he did that with holdovers. Really, really good movie. It's a Christmas movie too, if you want to check it
Okay.
out. At some point, it's got Paul Giamatti.
Another thing
Anyway,
he does with that is occasionally he only does it 2 or 3 times in the movie, but he'll do transitions where the screen will start to go black and he'll do a circle around something for emphasis.
dude, this is so cool. I would love a boutique label to put this out. Like, this would be awesome. This is
Yeah,
making this.
it's good enough it should go on a disc.
It's making me excited to rewatch this, which I can't say I've ever had.
You got to do that. And again, I'm a giant 89 apologist, but it's wonderfully watchable. And some of the choices he makes for what dialogue to put in the intertitles is really interesting. He's just really smart about like which characters have more expository dialogue and that kind of thing. Like Knox gets more dialogue in that version than anybody else because he's the comic relief. So when he's saying funny things, you're not going to understand what he's saying just looking at him. So he has to talk more. He's really smart about it.
Yeah, this makes it feel like the old Batman serials with like a huge budget.
Yeah, which I'm thinking about doing a watch party on sometime this month if I can squeeze it in. At least
Oh,
part of
cool.
the 43, because I've never done it, and I haven't. I saw that when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I don't think I'll prep for that. I think I'll do a reaction commentary if I do it. Because
I'd like to get those. I don't think there's a Blu-ray of those, but there's a DVD
there's
with
a
some
DVD.
terrible artwork on the front.
Yep, yeah, it's bad.
That look
It's bad, but yeah, there's a box set that has the 43 and the 47 together.
okay. I don't know what it is with Batman and Warner Brothers. Whenever they put something out, they just put like generic Batman art on the front. It looks like it could be one of the DC animated films. I guess that's what they're trying to do is trick you into buying those.
Yeah,
They have a VHS that looks way cooler.
yeah,
A two disc.
and I had that. I might still have it, but I had that as a kid, and that's how I watched that. Although I think the VHS, I said earlier I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't think I've ever sat through the 43. I think the 47 is the one that I watched and had on VHS
Okay.
because there were two.
Oh yeah, here's a little box set. It's called Superhero Origins: Three Classic Serials, and it's Batman, Batman and Robin, and the Shadow.
Yeah.
All three of them in this.
Okay, that one I don't have. There is a box set that just has Batman. I don't have the
Oh,
one
okay.
with Shadow in it. I should track
That's
that
pretty
down
cool.
though because I don't have that anywhere. Some of the superhero serials I have not found yet, and I don't know if they're all released. Like I don't know if anybody ever put out the Shazam ones, the or I should say the Captain Marvels.
I think those have a Blu-ray from Kino Lorber because
Oh,
I
crazy!
was digging. They had a sale recently, and I saw those. I think that's on there, and it's a Blu-ray. It's either that or Flash Gordon, or maybe both. But yeah. Anyway, we're just talking about movies now.
So everybody, thanks for watching. We completely lost track of time. We did our normal halftime bit, and then we came back and we said second half, and then we did twice as much as we did before. But
Yeah, I just have a million links to send Cap after this video now, and they do have the Captain Marvel on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. It looks pretty cool. But sorry.
yeah, I didn't know they ever released that. That's crazy. But like, I don't know if Doc Savage ever came out. Like, there's a bunch of these, and like Dan's Den said, there's a ton of superhero related ones. Probably more than not, honestly. It's like in the serial days, superhero took over, and then not again until the 2000s. It's very interesting.
Yep, and we might be on the tail end of that.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's so hard to tell. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We sure appreciate it. And DJ, come back again soon, buddy. I have missed you.
Thanks for having me, man. It was a blast.
It was a lot of fun. And now it's going to take me like an hour to clean up my desk.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to put away, starting with Neverending Story.
I'm so jealous of that. That's such a cool looking set. All right,
Sell a couple things. You can get it.
my wife's gonna be like, "Oh my god, why did you buy that?"
Because she hates it.
She hates it. Anyway, there's a couple things she thinks are cool, but mostly she does not like that movie. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again with Austin tomorrow night with a premature release for or stream, I should say, for Superhero Rewind. Or not unscripted commentary project. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm tired. Commentary project. We're doing Captain America: Civil War tomorrow night because I'm out Friday. And then Saturday, John's going to join me, and we're finally going to get back to Smallville. We're doing season 7. We're doing that all day long from 10 in the morning to 9 or 10 in the evening. And then we'll come back the week after, if all goes according to plan, to do the second half. Because, DJ, I'm getting older, and I cannot do 24 hours all at once anymore. The last couple, we quit doing that. And 12 I can do, 24 I'm out on that. But...
I remember the last one you broke down. I broke down right in the middle of it.
Yeah, it was bad. Like I had this bizarre tingling sensation, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. Like my body is telling me to quit. It was really bad. So that was like season 3 or 4 or something, and then the last couple I haven't done that. We've just done 12 hours. But we do them real close to each other when we finish it, so they're still called 24-hour streams, which is cheating, but it's for the sake of being consistent with my titling.
Well, and it sounds better than a 12-hour 2-part stream. Like, how's the marketing for that's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, what do you even do with that? But yeah, we're gonna try to finish that as soon as we can. We've got other things we want to do this with. John really wants to get to Buffy and Angel. We've talked about doing Power Ranger streams at some point. So there's a whole bunch of things we want to do this with if we can get back to it. But now that my 1-year-old is a little older, it's going to be easier to start doing those again. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again real soon. And DJ, this was great. I really appreciate you, buddy. I was Captain Logan. This was DJ, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye, guys. I want to take you for a ride.